was such a phenomenon.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to see this again with pictures. I get it.
Looks like there are a number of Hungry Howies in southeastern Michigan.
Ah. Jesse, you got to seek it out. It's really good.
Okay, I want it.
It's college pizza.
Oh, it's pizza. Okay.
Yeah. So
What
it's
did
weird.
you
I
think?
thought Tempe had. Yeah. What
What
did you think it was?
food Hungry Howie's would serve?
I thought burgers.
That's fair.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Jesse, your background is so white, also.
I know, it's a great
I
background.
know. For someone that doesn't have an iPhone, yeah.
It's all for the Zoom. Get those cool Zoom backgrounds in here.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I did tell everyone they should peer pressure you into getting the phone. Just so you know.
Sweet.
I just, we've been doing these live texting, movie viewing, comics, and comedy wags. And I just added my friend. She's the only one who has an Android, so now the chat went green.
Does it turn everyone's chat screen?
Yeah.
Wow.
You changed the whole dynamic.
That's
Here's really the number one reason, and it's the stupidest, most anal thing to be upset about. I can't name the thread now. So to search for it, I just have to hope to God I've actually got the one that's got all of your names together. I can't just search for like Yarin D&D group or something. I have to be like GSE, Mo, and Drayden, and I'm gonna cut myself with these child scissors.
That's awesome, man.
Okay, I'm gonna.
By the way, if you guys ever want to do like a movie text thing, it's very fun.
Yeah.
You just pick like a random movie, sync up, and just text, making fun of the movie the whole time. It's very.
Oh, that's fun.
It's a good time. Yeah.
It does sound entertaining.
I like that.
Okay. I'm just gonna get these guys set up. All right. We feeling in a good spot?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. I'm just gonna get that started. Beans. Let's get. I think a separate one might be helpful.
Got a notification in Discord, but I don't know what it is. And I'm anal, where that will bug me for so long.
Yeah, I will say Discord's like their notification settings are a little tough to figure out. Burp. Where am I at?
Also, what exactly is the AP club that you've invited us to?
So you might know this. I might have told you. I might not have. I do a
think
thing
you did.
for like a bunch of other friends of mine. Am I muted by the way, or can you hear me?
No, I hear you.
That's so weird. Okay. It's like we play D&D, but so many of them wanted to play, and I didn't want to tell people no. That I basically made like one big shared universe for them to all play at the same time. So we run like 3 tables at the same time, sometimes 4. So it's like 20
cool.
people playing D&D all together in the same world. And it's called the Adventure Party Club or the AP Club. So you are now through proxy part of the AP Club.
Gotcha.
Wait, is that what you're streaming on Twitch right now?
Yes.
So
People are watching us do this right now?
Right now, no one is watching it, but some might jump in later.
As we figure out my microphone and.
Well, they probably didn't. Although now they probably are. Although Jesse, I might make a suggestion. I don't know if you can do it if you're on your phone, but I think there's a push to talk feature, so you can just like jump in when you want to say stuff. It might limit some of the echo.
Huh. I'll investigate.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna just kick that down a smidgione. Okay. So why don't we go ahead and get started with our pickup from last time, like we said. Um, so at our last session, we kind of had a culmination of stuff, almost kind of a returning home. We all came back to the main capital city of Searle, where we first decided to kind of rest at the Cliffhanger Inn and recoup, celebrate being able to return Cogburn and save the town of Gloamhaven and some other kind of places and people along the way, which was super fun. While you were doing that, though, you discovered that you were being trailed by assassins who were trailing Rowena, sent by her estranged fiance murderer, who was trying to take over her family name, which is always fun, always a good time. And after an interesting fight with them, in which you were almost charmed into fleeing with them, you brutally murdered all of them. And left their body to be cleaned up by the innkeeper and her employees.
We tipped her though.
Correct. You did. You tipped very well. Upon kind of discovering a little bit more of who they were and where they came from the innkeeper Vanera, you tipped her very well to basically say, if anyone else comes looking for me, then tell them we went to the Forest of Sendrin, and hopefully we'll get them lost in the Feywild for a few months, years, who knows, indefinitely, which would be super helpful. And you decided to kind of stay there for the night, since it was kind of a long, hard battle, and weren't in a position where you could go and continue on with your questing in the state you were in. So you kind of stayed at the Cliffhanger Inn for a little bit longer in the city of Searle, and while you were there, you rested. And through the night as you rested, Rowena was visited by one of her very good friends in the Deep Shadow Guild that she's part of, and by the name of Torm. And Torm basically said that I had been looking for you for a while. I hadn't heard from you. I was just a little scared. This was one of your last places that you were at, so I just figured I'd check in. When you kind of shared a little bit more, kind of let him know a little bit of what you were going through, he recruited you for a couple of thievery missions, which you so far declined. One in the city of Hasp, which is on the far eastern side of the current island that you're on. The other on a different island called Baldarag, which was kind of a bigger one. But as you declined, he kind of gave you these sending stones that are paired together so that you could reach out to him or he could reach out to you in case anything was needed. So he kind of left for the rest of the night, and then Zunis, kept pondering about the visions that he had and came to realize that Sylvanas was actually the god that was trying to connect with him, which was the god from his former life, when he was still a Triton under the sea and hadn't yet been sucked up into these floating cities yet. So a couple of revelations kind of occurred for a few of you in the night, and you woke up refreshed and healthy and decided, hey, I'm going to go back to Watcher Sim and finally return these world spikes that he asked us to get. But nay, it wasn't quite as simple as that. As you approached the Noble Hand Temple in the capital of Searle, you were almost immediately apprehended by the guardsman there, who took you before Supreme Watcher Tion. And Tion basically sadly let you know that it's presumed that Watcher Sim was killed. There was essentially a murder scene in his room, and his body was not found, but parts of him were. And he asked more of what Watcher Sim was looking for you, since you were the last folks who talked to him. And he demanded to kind of get some of those answers. And Zunis, maybe a bit naively, shared exactly what Watcher Sim was looking for, which immediately piped up Watcher Sim, who took the world spikes from you, apprehended Zunis and Thad, jailed them separately, and then left Rowena and Ivo to leave the temple and go about your lives. But your concern for your friends remained, and you asked if you could exonerate them. He gave you the opportunity to investigate Watcher Sim's room so that you could see for any other clues, search for any other clues, and possibly prove their innocence. But when you were investigating the room, I found a few things out of place, some things that didn't quite line up. But most importantly, you found a crumpled note in the balled fist of the hand of Watcher Sim that was spiked to the center of the floor. Also naively, though, Ivo decided to read the letter and make it known that he found one out loud. And upon seeing that, Watcher Sim the Supreme Watcher, Tion, saw that, demanded that you give him the letter. As he read the letter, he then jailed both of you as well as accomplices to murder, assuming that somehow, because Broadbottle's name was mentioned in the letter, it implicated him, and likely the rest of you as well, since you all had the world spikes and you were all on the same mission. So he jailed you guys, and that's kind of where we'll pick up on this particular mission. You are. It's been a couple of days for you now since our last mission. You spent the last 2 days in the dungeons below Noblehand Temple, and for everyone who's been in the city of Seral, especially Thad and Zunis, you know without a doubt that the Noblehand Temple is one of the main jails in the nation. It's where they train guards, and they expect that they're going to be holding people in this place. So you've spent now a couple of days in this jail that is seemingly impenetrable, hard to remove from, and most of you are separated. So just real quick to set the scenes around all of you. Rowena and Ivo, you are in a kind of bigger jail cell. You're surrounded by other people that are jailed here, other prisoners. It's a relatively larger space. It's kind of like when you get arrested for disorderly conduct or something, they don't throw you in your own cell. As an example, you're not in penitentiary, but you're sharing a pretty large jail cell with about 5 other prisoners of all different backgrounds and species and genders, kind of in there. Zunis, you are alone in a decently sized cell. There's enough room for you to lay down. Could probably fit another person, but for right now you're alone. You can see outside of the gates in front of you that there are other cells in front of you. Thad, you are in a pitch black room. You cannot see. You can tell that you are chained with your arms above your head, lying at a bit of an angle on a table. Your head is up, your feet are down. You are entirely shackled. What is important to note about all of you, for the most part, all of you still kept your clothing on, so your armor and stuff is on, but your weapons are not currently on your persons. So just something to note about that. They were kind of in haste, so they didn't strip you, with the exception of Thad. Thad, you were wearing none of your armor. Cool.
What about our other supplies that we've been carrying around?
Anything else that was on your persons, you can consider that on you. The only thing they seemed to take from you in the haste of jailing you was your weapons. If you had a small pouch or a bag on you, you had it. Although if I remember correctly, Supreme Watcher Tion did take the bag of holding from Ivo last round. So you don't have that currently on your persons.
And can you hear me at this present moment? Hey, look at that. So I have dark vision, but am I still unable to see?
You are able to see then if you have dark vision. You can see in this room. Let me explain what's in front of you. You are lying on a rack. Your arms are chained to a mechanical device. There are torture implements abound, and you are scared and very nervous. You, because you've been in the Noble Hand for so long, you definitely know what this room is. It's not often used, but it is. Interrogation is not illegal, neither is torture, in the city of Yaren, and you are currently in the torture chamber.
Helm, protect me.
For the folks that are together, Ivo and Ryuna, is there anything you would like to discuss or say after these couple days that you've been together?
I'd like to try and talk to some of the other people in the cell and see if any of them are my fellow Deep Shadow members.
Yeah, so you see, like I said, about 5 other people in this room. So there's about 7 in this room in total. In fact, let me get it loaded up for you real quick. I want to remove this, and then you should be able to see the map now. Yes. So for Ivo and Rowena, you are currently um, you're currently in this lower area. Let me write it down for you. Let's get rid of you. You guys are here. You guys are in this lower area. Zunis, you're not sure where you are in relation to them. But you know where the general holding cells would be for like temporary prisoners, so you know where a bit they are. Same for Thad, not that you know that they've been captured. Zunis and Thad, you don't know that they've been captured at this point.
Because we were put in first, so
Correct. They were put
the
in
dramatic irony is we think they're still up there negotiating.
Well, it's been a couple days, so you might also just think they left.
Nah, my people wouldn't do that. They're fighting for me. I know those guys.
We're coming for you, son.
They're either fighting for me or in co-ed jail.
At least we're not ordering chicken wings.
That's what I'd like to be doing.
So you said there were 5 other people in the section with me and Ivo, and you said they're different species, pretty diverse group. Can I chat with any of them, or have I already tried that?
You can definitely talk to them. You can like hit them up and chat. You've talked to them a few times, but the people in this room, you get the sense are pretty temporary. You've seen people come in and out of this, taken from different places. Some of them in different states of goodness. Some have been yanked out against their will. Others have been taken out just after they served their time. So, you've gotten a few different things. So you can definitely check them up. You see, currently, like I said, about 5 other ones. One is a kind of scrawny little dude, a little bit scraggly and dirty. You get the sense he's just a general loiterer or homeless person that was not where he needed to be. There is a half-naked gentleman. He has no clothes on, except for like a little loincloth that he was provided. There's a woman who looks a little bit tougher. She appears to be an elf or a half-elf from what you can tell. She seems to know her way about her a little bit more. She's wearing leathers, no weapons on her either. There's also a dragonborn in this room, a little bit bigger. He seems to be staying close to the woman that you see in front of them.
Oh, well, I speak Draconic, so may I attempt to speak some with the Dragonborn?
Yeah, what do you say? And you're saying it in Draconic?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you say?
Hey, friend, what are you in for?
Oh, the usual. A little of this, a little of that. Who's asking?
Just trying to make a friend. I take very good care of my friends. Think of any way we can get at it here. My first time in place. Are you a native of this isle?
Guessing, probably not from around here. No one really gets out of this place. They either take you out, they leave you here, or they kill you.
So, are you just gonna accept that? Do you want to work together for an escape plot?
I mean, not that it's any of your business, but I'm not here for much. I'm probably gone in the next day or two. So, if you're here for longer, sucks to suck, I guess.
I don't know. I haven't been formally charged with anything.
Well, I don't know if they have to charge you. If they see you doing something they don't like, they put you in here.
Yeah, it's messed up, and I thought Wadep was bad.
Oh, so you've been to Wadep a few times, huh?
I'm from Wadep.
Oh, that's interesting. What parts?
The center of town.
And as he's kind of talking to you, you see him kind of jump a little bit, and you notice that the elven or half-woman next to him kind of ribbed him a little bit. She's like, "Stop talking to strangers. You don't know what they are or what they're doing here."
Hey, lady. I'm not up to any trouble. What are you in for?
She kind of just gives you the side eye and just stops talking. She is not talking to you at all.
Oh, man. What do you think, Ivo?
So DM, real quick, have they, after they arrested us and threw us in here for a couple of days now, have they given us any indication of what is going to happen to us?
Yeah, great question. So far, no. Basically, they've just said you're put down here until they figure out a little bit more of what's happening. You get the sense that it's not looking great. You're not exactly, to Rowena's point, they haven't told you exactly what you did other than maybe accomplices to this murder. You're not sure if it's because they think you took part in it or you just know more than you've let on. But currently you're in this kind of jail cell. Rowena, as like the hours kind of pass and you've seen this, you notice that there's about 2 guards. There's one guard that kind of patrols this cell block at all times. They seem to switch off, but it's only ever one guard. They go up to the end of where they're going, takes them a few minutes, they circle back. It's the same guard for a few hours at a time. Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. 6.
6. You're not sure how often they've kind of come in and out of this place. It's hard to remember exactly what their patrols are, but you know that there are gaps in how long it takes for them to go and come back, which might give you a window to use the thieves' tools that you've kind of stashed on you to pick the locks in front of you. But you're not sure how long you've got. It's been a couple days. Every time you've tried it so far, based on that perception check, you haven't timed it well, and they've kind of come back and almost caught you.
Yeah, you read my mind. That's what I was thinking of doing.
You could always try again. You still haven't got the rhythm, so I would let you do it, but at disadvantage.
Okay. I'd like to give it a shot.
Okay.
Alright, so what am I rolling?
First thing I want you to do is roll a stealth check.
Okay. 17.
Okay, awesome. Now I want you to roll. You're gonna roll a dexterity check, but because you're proficient in thieves' tools, you should get a bonus to it. Let me see what that is for Rowena. Thieves' tools. I think you have expertise in that now, if I recall. So you should be able to basically do you're gonna do a dexterity check, and you're gonna double your proficiency bonus to it. So total, it's gonna be a thieves' check or a dexterity check plus 7.
Okay. And plus my usual bonus?
Uh-huh. Oh, no, not... What's the usual bonus you have?
Plus 3.
For thieves' tools?
Or for dexterity.
Oh, yeah, so it's 3 plus 4, so 7 total.
7. Okay. 9.
9?
Yeah.
So you're kind of in there, kind of trying to put around for it, and as you kind of like just feel like you're about to hit it, you're like, it just needs a little bit more. You push it, maybe a little bit more than you should, and it breaks off. Part of it is in your hand. Part of it is still in the keyhole. Roll a perception check for me as well.
I got 10.
10. You don't notice anything as it's coming around the corner, but here pretty soon there's a guard now almost on top of the jail cell. And he walks around. He sees that you kind of ran back, scurried back to the other area, and he's kind of looking at you. Let's see if he sees that. He looks at the keyhole, and he sees the little bit of metal sticking out from under it.
I don't know anything about that, officer.
Looks in and he goes, "Oi! Whichever one that this belongs to, you're in for some big trouble on that now. Everyone come to the front." He waits for everyone to kind of like come to the front. Kind of like screams out for one of his partners. Another guard comes in. They open the cell, and now they're frisking all of you. Rowena, can you just roll let's roll an acrobatics check. Let's see if you were able to kind of...
Oh yeah, I was hoping you were going to say that. 10. Man, I don't have it today.
Well, let's see if they find it. Rolled a 4. So he doesn't seem to notice anything on there, and he's like, "Looks like it must have been someone's last one. It's a good effort, but it's not going to get you out of here." And he kind of laughs and walks off. You still have let's say 2 more thieves' tools, I think, in your possession, based on what I think you had before.
Alright.
So they kind of walk off. He's standing out there now, just kind of waiting. Let's switch scenes a little bit here, though. While Ivo and Rowena are still kind of in that station. Zunis, like I said, you're kind of alone right now. There's no one else in this cell with you. You're still wearing all of your armor. It's a little dirty, like you've been shitting in a bucket around the corner. It's not a great spot to be in jail. You're a little concerned. What's also very concerning for you is not everyone at the Noblehand Temple knew of your existence. A lot of the upper echelons did, but not very many. And the guards here have not been very kind to you because you seem to be an interloper and some weird species in their church. The kind of things that you see in front of you, if I can open that up a little bit. Let's do this and this. So in front of you, you do see a couple other cells.
Okay.
Right in front of yours. You're on the one. Oops, sorry. Actually, I reversed that wrong. You were on the bottom one. You were on the bottom left. So in front of you, fix that. You can see the cell directly in front of you, which is the one on top, kind of that bigger one. You're on the one kind of on the lower left. I'll mark it for you. So you are. You're here. Okay.
Oh, the X
Yes.
that you just crossed out. Okay, cool. And I can see the one across from me.
You can see
It's
the
also,
one across
like,
from you,
right.
and you can hear
Cool.
that there must be a cell next to you because you can kind of hear that there's like someone in there like snapping on walls and stuff. Directly across from you in that bigger cell, you can see that there's kind of a person kind of hunched up, and he's like asleep on the floor on a little cot, and he rolls around. And you kind of recognize this person. He looks familiar. It's actually Captain Yao, the bandit captain from earlier that you guys called the militia on and was arrested and brought back to Thurl.
Dude, excellent storytelling. Just want to point that out. Nicely done.
Indeed.
But cool. I was hoping it would be Cogburn, so it'd be someone that I was friendly with. But all right, cool. I guess I want to speak to Yao now that I've recognized him.
Yeah.
Try and come up with something. And just to jog my memory, our last interaction with Yao was pretty negative, if I remember.
Yeah, it was not
correctly.
great. You were essentially trying to kill each other.
Right. Not necessarily just me, but my
Your whole
group
party.
of
And he definitely
Mary
would not be a huge fan of Ivo. You assume, as far as you know at this point.
Sure, but I feel like right now it's kind of like that Pulp Fiction scene where you got to put your differences aside and get out.
You would also know, just for some timeline stuff, he wasn't in here when you were brought in here. He got brought in here somewhere in the last 24 hours.
Okay, so I was here first.
But it's
Gotcha.
been about a night. Like he's had an opportunity to sleep here. When you woke up, he was there.
Understood.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get his attention.
So you see him kind of start to shift, and he goes, "Yeah, what do you want?"
Hey, you probably remember me. I come clean. I traveled with some people that you didn't exactly get along with.
And you see him
You
kind
know,
of turn
Ivo.
his head as he's like hearing your voice, and you look, and you kind of look at his face, and his eyes are not there. His face is like covered in a really garbage bandage. He's been hurt and like maimed, either in a fight or in capture of some type. But he basically is like missing his eyes. There's like scars and stuff across from them.
Were they gouged out, or do I not know?
Hard to
that?
say if they were gouged out. Roll a medicine check real quick for me.
Jeez.
What kind of check?
A medicine.
What was the check, Nate?
Medicine.
Check. Got it. Oops, I opened TikTok instead of my Dice app. Sorry, guys.
So much. I've done that so often.
Medicine. 21. I wasted a good roll. It wasn't a clean 20. It was an 18 with a +3.
Still good. So you can definitely tell from what you can see. It doesn't look like they were gouged out. It looks like you kind of look at the rest of his body. He's pretty beaten up, bruised, cut. Like you get the sense this was like his last stand before he was captured by the guardsmaster. And somehow in this fight he lost his eyes. There's a scar. It's not like one of those cool scars that like goes down. It like goes across and like seemed like it got the top of his nose and his eyes in one cut. It is healing clearly, but he is coherent, if a little gross.
You probably don't recognize me then. I'll explain.
I can hear your voice. I know.
All right, so
I know who you are.
You know who you don't need me to explain. I get it. That's cool. I guess obviously what happened to you, man? What's going on?
You know what happened to me. You guys ratted me out and that bastard Ivo got me captured. Now he should remember the Lordless don't forget. Doesn't really matter now, we're all gonna die here anyway.
Well, can we all get out of here and maybe we can make it up to you somehow?
How the fuck am I supposed to know how to get out of here? And why the hell would I help you anyway?
Because I'll help you. We're gonna work as a team.
Help me do what? Get out of this place?
Yeah.
Do you know how to get out of this place?
No, but I feel like you may have some experience in prisons. So
roll a persuasion check for me.
I'm probably gonna roll like a 2, I bet. 12.
12. He kind of looks at you a little bit and he's like, I mean, if you find a way to get out of here and I can help, I guess I will, but I don't know if I'm going to be the one doing all the work.
I have an idea of sorts. I think I'm fluent in many languages. I think I may be able to appeal to the guards and tell them of some visions that I had recently and maybe help them understand that I am a noble follower of Helm and I believe in their mission and I should be out spreading it rather than, behind bars.
Kind of looks at you, like tries to look at you, like he moves his head in your general area, and he says, very like kind of hear the seriousness go in his voice, and he goes, "That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard."
Hey man, it was worth a shot, you know.
If they thought you were some kind of special person, you wouldn't be down in this shithole next to me.
I mean, I came here with the noblest of intentions, so you're probably right. I wanted to help out. I wanted to help my place of worship, and they didn't accept it.
Only thing I can tell you is there's something fucking weird going on here. I don't know what I heard last night, but it sounded like the fucking wall next to me was moving.
Yeah, what is it? I heard some scratching too.
I don't know. I've been in here, and you obviously can tell I can't see a goddamn thing.
Yeah, let me knock. Let me see if I can get that guy's attention.
So you knock.
Or girl.
Are you like yelling or anything?
Hey, what's up? What are you doing?
You do see a guard kind of come around the corner, and he goes, "Oh, what do you want?"
This guy's been scratching all night. It's bothering me and my friend Yao.
Kind of looks in there, and he kind of looks in. There's no one in there. And he looks over and he goes, "You heard it on this side or the other side?"
That side, right? Yeah.
And then Yao kind of like looks at you and he's like, he doesn't like really make eye contact obviously, but he kind of like shakes his head real quick. And then the guard kind of turns around and like he takes the butt end of his spear and like shoves it through the cell doors, and like hits Yao and kind of Yao whimpers and like runs back off to the corner. And he goes, "Yeah, huh, Captain Yao? Think you're some kind of special person in there, huh? You and your shitbag friends. You're all gonna die in here anyway." And kicks off the doors. "Stop wasting my time. Do what you're supposed to do in here and rot." And he walks off.
May I ask the DM a question?
Yeah, of course.
Say that guy comes back. I obviously assume I still have all my powers. Could I use like my nature's wrath on?
You could
potentially escape.
Nothing is right at this point stopping you from casting spells that you can tell.
All right. Well, since I'm gonna save everything right now, but yeah, I guess I'm glad to know that I have Yao on my side. There may be some kind of weird, kind of like vision that we're hearing, and the guards are ruthless. Is what I'm working with.
So the guard kind of leaves and goes off, and Captain Yao kind of notices this as he hears him, and he looks at you and goes, "Hey, you need to learn to keep your mouth shut, okay? I know you were fucking stupid based on this nonsense vision bullshit you were talking about before, but not the person to share it to. And besides, it wasn't even on that side where I heard this shit. It was on the other wall."
All right, well,
So Yao is
just
basically
saying.
saying he's hearing movement from this side.
That far away.
Well, he's in that cell. This is the cell that you see Yao in.
Oh, I thought he was in the little gray one
You
next
guys are like
to me.
right
Like,
next to each other.
I thought I was in the one that you have like scribbled red on.
You are. No, you're not right next to it. You're like right across from each other. Sorry.
Got
You
it.
could see into
Okay,
his cell, and he could see into yours if he wasn't missing his eyes. He would see.
just based on like the sizing of this, that seems far away, but I guess it's not.
It's about 10, 15 feet away from you.
Yeah, to scale, that seems kind of far, considering that like I feel like Ivo and Rowena, can they hear us at all or no?
Maybe if you yelled really loud, they might be able to. I mean, it's pretty thick stone walls and stuff, though, so you're not sure if it would reach. And you don't know
If
where
I-
they are yet. You don't know if they're in that corner. You assume that's where they are
Yeah.
because that's where they're kept if they are kept anywhere, but you don't know if they were captured.
And if I yelled, that might like alert the guards to like beat the shit out of me.
Correct. But we're gonna switch scenes again, and we're gonna go to a darkened corner with our friend Thad, who is now woefully sober. 2 days with no drink, which is not great for him. And he's on the rack, kind of cold and dark. Can you do me a favor and just roll a perception check for me, Thad?
Sure. Can I take my passive perception on that? If I rolled lower than it?
Yeah, what was your passive perception?
18.
Yeah. So, the room you're in is dark. You can't see much, but every about 6 minutes, you see feet kind of go past the door that you're in. No one has come to see you in really since you first got into this room, which has now been almost the entirety of the 2 days. You have now been in this isolation, this cold. You haven't been given anything to eat. You've only been given some water, and even that was pretty sparing. You're feeling very weak and ragged. So far, none of the torture has started, but you've just been chained to this table for however long. As you're kind of sitting there, you do see some feet go to the door and stop. You can hear with that passive perception a little bit on the other side. And the voice is very familiar. It sounds like Supreme Watcher Tion. And it's hard to say from muffled, but you get the gist. And he says something along the lines of, no one comes in. Ensure no new prisoners are checked in during this time. And we are, like, essentially not to be disturbed. Door opens, a bright light kind of comes in that kind of makes you kind of squint as you see it, and enters Supreme Watcher Tion alone by himself. He kind of walks up to you, and he says, "It's time to confess that Zir."
I have nothing to confess, brother.
I think you and I both know that that's not true. I want to know what you did with Watcher Sim.
I have done nothing.
That's very hard to believe, given that you were basically the last people that saw him alive, and now his body is missing and his maimed hand is in his room. Not to mention, he gave you quite a blasphemous task to accomplish.
I have done my best to serve Helm at every fork in the road. This is no.
Still holding to that old trope, huh? It was one thing to speak out against me, but you know that I'm the voice of Helm on this earth. There is not a thing that you could do that would make me question that your beliefs are not only incorrect, but wrong. Now, I demand to know what you've done with Watcher Sim, and he, pulls back on the crank wheel. I'd like you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
5.
5. You take, what was that? Roll again, I forgot, sorry. That wasn't too good. You only take 1 point of damage from the first crank of the wheel as he hits you there. And you kind of strain just a little bit as he kind of teases on it just a smidgen. He goes, if that's the line you want to keep, then very well. We'll just do it the hard way, which in some cases is quite a bit more fun. Tell me what you know of the world spikes.
I know nothing of them. I know that they exist from my readings, and that.
Roll a deception check for me.
5.
You'll have to try harder on the next one. Roll another Constitution saving throw for me.
5.
You need a roll. You need new dice. So he cranks it again. On this one, you take 6 points of damage as the rack stretches you even more. Listen, I think you've probably learned right now. You'll be here likely for the rest of your almost certainly short life. But I'm gonna find out what I need to know one way or the other. Now tell me what you really know of the world spikes. And he kind of starts to edge on the rack again.
I will tell you if you can give me a drink.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Changing up my d20, y'all.
Smart choice.
15.
15. So he goes, very well. You haven't given me everything yet. I may as well keep you a little more coherent. And he kind of reaches to a bucket that's on the ground of just filthy water. It's clearly dirty and been sitting there for a while. There's stuff floating in it, but he pours it in a little wooden, ramshackle cup that's leaking most of the liquid. He kind of puts it to your lips and pours it through your mouth, and you can taste the sediment and grossness, and you are just blissfully thankful that there is any liquid, even as disgusting as it is, that you have it. Now, I've given you what you asked. Give me what I asked.
The world spikes are nothing more than a fairy tale legend as far as I'm concerned. Fuck off.
That's a strange fairy tale to be holding in your hands, and you somehow got 2 of them.
All I can say is sometimes Helm will provide wondrous things to his most loyal, unlike you.
Isn't that the truth? And he just really cranks it now. Roll a con save for me again.
18 on that one.
You take 5 points of damage as he just turns it a couple of times on you. The pain is getting so consistent, it's hard for you to stay kind of awake and coherent as you're kind of in there from it. And he looks at you as you're kind of starting to fade in and out of consciousness. And he looks and says, it might not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But eventually, I will know everything that you've done, and so will the world. And this is the place you'll die. And he he kind of sees you start to fade in and out of consciousness. Do me a favor, roll a perception check real quick.
9.
9. So you don't hear much, but you do hear him kind of mutter something supposedly to himself as you pass out. And the only thing that you can hear is our plans. And then he kind of turns around, bangs on the door, and you're not really sure what happens from there. And we'll switch scenes again. We're going to go back to Ivo and Rowena. It's now been... Again, you're not sure exactly what time of day it is. There's no windows in here. It's all lit artificially by torches and candles. You kind of surmise you've been in this room since we started this adventure for probably about 4 hours, maybe 3.
What do you think, Ivo?
I feel like we're gonna have to definitely figure out a way to break out of this cell. Do you think if you gave it another shot? Well, do you think if you gave it another shot with your thieves' tool, that would work? If not, we could kind of come up with another strategy. We could talk with these other members of our jail cell here and see if we could have some sort of scheme to overpower the guards by getting them into the jail cell.
I think I could give it another shot. DM,
Okay.
do I have any better handle on the window of time where the guards come around, or may I roll again so as to?
No, I'll say you've been kind of keeping an eye on it at this point, since you were kind of paying attention to it first, and now it's been a few days. You've got maybe about like a 2-minute window before the guard makes it back. Roll just a straight intelligence check for me, though.
And then DM, let me ask you this. Can we tell if I guess we could when we saw them enter the jail cell before, but where the key is, if it's on their person, if it's like hanging up or around the jail cell.
Roll a perception check and I'll let you know.
I got 12 on intelligence.
Okay. It's hard to surmise exactly, but you can probably gauge if it's taking about 2 minutes for the same guard to make their rounds. That it's not a long walk for them to finish. So you kind of guess whatever area they're particularly patrolling is probably no more than like 80 feet at most.
Okay, so I'll have to act fast. So I have no margin for error.
And then, Ivo, what did you get on that perception check?
I did. Oh, I get +2. 15.
15. It's changed from time to time. Sometimes the guard has it on their person. Sometimes they don't. You do notice there is one particular guard, a female, who seems to always have it with them. The other ones, again, sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. But the female guard seems to. She seems to be a bit newer than the other guards, so you wonder if this is maybe like a newer guard, and she's more by the book than the others. So you're not 100% sure on that, but you've noticed some have it, some don't.
Okay, but the female guard always has it on her.
Correct.
When she walks by.
Correct.
Okay.
We could also try to overpower the guard, but we would need to get them in cell with us, Ivo.
We need to get them to do what?
Well, we could try and overpower the guards, but lure them into the
Yeah. True. That's what I'm wondering if there's something, because they came in before to search for when you put in the tried to break into the lock with the pick, and they came in before searching for it. So there's definitely a way for them to come in. But I feel like we need to kind of get everyone in the jail cell on board. I'm also wondering if there's something to be done with this one female guard in particular who always has the key on her, if there's a way that if we could bring just her into the jail cell instead, well,
You could seduce her.
I could seduce her. I'm also wondering if we could pick
She
the
might
key
swing
off
the
of
other
her.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she never. You never know. You might need to seduce her. But I wonder though if they probably have to lock up with the key. So having you like pick it off of her while she's in here searching, I don't think that would work out.
One thing
because I'm sure she has to use it to lock up again.
Yeah, one thing you do notice kind of in the cell that you're in currently with the rest of these folks, right across from you are two doors. They're not like jail cell doors. They're wooden doors on hinges. You have seen officers of all different caliber, it seems like, walking in and out of that area directly in front of you, in and out of the doors. You have noticed that the doors do stay locked. A key is needed to open those doors directly in front of you.
And that's outside of the cell?
Yeah, it's straight in front of the cell, directly across from you. Those aren't other jail cells in front of you. They seem to be a room or an office. You're not sure. You haven't quite gotten a look entirely inside of them. Yeah, real quick, roll a... Nah, you would have noticed this. It's right in front of you. The guards seem to change at this point. When they do switches, often the switches occur here. You notice that this seems to be the place where the guards kind of transfer their duties to another guard.
Interesting. Also, if we could knock a guard out and put on the uniform, that might help.
Yeah, you do seem to get the gauge that like only one guard is patrolling this area at a time. It doesn't seem like there's two.
Okay.
DM, you said that they took our weapons. Did they take all of our supplies as well? I'm assuming they took like my rope.
Yes, they did. Anything that was like in a backpack or a bag, yes. If it was small and on your person, they were just in a hurry. They didn't take any of that stuff from you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really not like the book 'em and keep 'em area. This is just temporary, and usually it's just for like drunks and layabouts, and they take you in and out of here.
Gotcha.
I agree with you that we should ingratiate ourselves with our fellow cellmates.
Okay, so you're thinking plan should be kind of the same deal where you try to pick the lock, and if it doesn't work out, plan B will be once the guard comes in to the cell, ideally to search us again, seeing that there's a pick in the lock, we all will overpower them.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to make sure our cellmates won't raise the alarm. I mean, I know, it wouldn't benefit them, but they don't seem
well, do you think
talkative.
Is there anyone in particular that you think might not want to escape and be part of this plan?
Well, that one woman wasn't very friendly, but it might just be that it's not a very place to be.
Right. This isn't the tavern. I think we should give it a shot. I think we should inform our comrades in this cell kind of what the plan is to have you try to pick the lock, and if that doesn't work, once the guards inside, overpower them and get out.
That works for me. Dungeon Master, do I still have my oil and my lantern?
No.
Okay. Just gonna burn this place to the ground. Okay, alright.
It's stone, so it probably wouldn't work.
Would you like to talk to them in common, and I'll translate in Draconic if these can't?
Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, we want to approach. So DM, remind me. So there's like two people who are kind of looking like stragglers, like kind of like almost like shady homeless kind of people, and then there's the two that Rowena was talking to before, right? So just 4 other people in the cell with us?
There's actually 5. One I didn't mention before is kind of a well-dressed... You're not sure she's a noblewoman, but she seems to be like upper echelon. She's got like nice clothes on. Her hair is a little tousled and ragged. You're not sure why she's here, but she's like been like daintily trying to avoid touching any of the gross in the jail cell. So you have like the skinny, like scraggly homeless man, the naked loincloth wearing drunkard who's just passed out, like he's not coherent.
Yeah.
The two kind of more wizened criminals, I guess. They look a little bit more like they know what they're doing. They're wearing leathers and stuff. One a dragonborn, one a half-elf or elven woman. And this kind of like well-dressed female as well.
Wait, they don't have prison uniforms? Everyone's just wearing their common clothes. That's right. You mentioned that earlier.
Right.
Rowena, do you... Oh, you put it there. Perfect. Do you want to, before we tell the dragonborn and half-elf, I feel like I would be intimidating to go up to this well-dressed female. Do you want to approach her and see why she's in the cell and then kind of let her know our plan?
Yeah, you read my mind.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be too intimidating. You should go talk to her.
Yeah, I've been in her shoes. All right, I approach her. Hey, sis, what's going on?
She kind of looks at you. She like sees sis. Now you're close, you get a better look at her. She's kind of an older woman. She's not like in her 20s. She's definitely over 30, maybe even 40. A couple of grays in her hair. Her hair is just a mess. She's got like raccoon eyes, like from the stuff. And she's like, I say, I'm not your sis. I don't know who you believe you're speaking to, but I will not be treated this way. Now carry on to the other side of the cell.
Look, I know exactly what you're going through. We'll help you out, okay? Just...
How could you know what I'm going through? You're just a common criminal. I don't deserve to be here. I tell you, I was drugged. There's no way I did those things they say that I did.
What did they say that you did?
They said that it's almost too grotesque to mention. They say I peed in public. How dare they? So I had a couple of drinks of wine. That was all. I'm telling you. That bastard put something in my drink.
That's horrible.
You hear that, guards? I don't belong here. You come here and let me out at once.
What's your name, ma'am?
You may call me the Lady Smalaya.
Let me just write that down, Lady Smalaya.
Smolaya. Smalaya.
Oh, I was close. Alright, Lady Smalaya. I too come from a noble family, and I know what a shit show it can be, and all the stuff that goes behind the scenes. So all I ask, just stay calm. This too shall pass. Just go with the flow. My friend Ivo and I got you, okay?
Your friend's the red-skinned one over there, the very strange-looking dragon beast.
No, he's this. Oh well, is he red-skinned? I forgot.
Yes. He also has
There's
horns.
nothing wrong with being red-skinned.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. The horns are a little unsettling. No, I don't know.
That's right. He's part devil. Look, I never made a deal about associating with devils either, but he's totally on the up and up. He's gotten me out of many situations. He's very chivalric. He's helped me out a lot. I have a whole situation with a murderous fiance. You don't even want to know.
She's like getting more and more scared as you're talking.
Can I use some persuasion on him?
Yes, I'll let you roll a persuasion check. See if you can convince her to trust you.
Ooh, 3.
Ooh.
3.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah, she's just like completely puts her nose up and she goes, "Leave at once! I don't know who you are, but I will call the guards!"
Oh, that's not gonna do anybody any good, but you know what?
No, I will! Guards! Guards!
Fuck. Would you like a
And
nice
rest assured, a
gold
guard
piece?
comes around the corner. And you hear him. It's a different one this time. It actually is the female guard who always has the keys on her.
Psst, Ivo, it's the female guard.
And she kind of clicks in and she's like, "Hey, what's going on in here? What do you need? What's the problem? All right."
Wait, Did she come into the cell? Is that what you mean?
No, she came like to the outside of the cell. She's like checking out why this layman was screaming. So the woman kind of yells back at her. She says, "These ruffians will not leave me alone. I demand that you apprehend them, or something."
Lady, we've been apprehended.
Whatever, you know what I mean. I don't belong here.
I'm sure you hear that a ton of times, guard
So
lady.
the woman kind of like, the female guard kind of pipes in and she's like, "Listen, whatever it is, I don't care, okay? Just keep it down. I'm just trying to do my job, all right? Who are the ones causing problems? Just tell them." She kind of looks at you, and Ivo. She points at you and Ivo, so she kind of like tells you both to like walk up. Do you guys like walk up to the cells? Like to the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she gets like real close. She's like, "Listen, I'm not stupid. Whatever it is you're trying to do, just stop. Right? Nice and easy. She is within arm's reach, just so you know."
Right. So, and do I clearly see the key is on her?
Yes, this is the female guard that always has the key on her. You see that key? It is on her like hip, attached on like a leather loop.
And then, so as she's talking as she's talking to both Rowena and myself, I would like to wait until she has kind of glazed over to Rowena and focusing on her to reach out and grab a hold of her. I'm assuming I'm taller than her, so reach out and grab her in the throat and pull her in against the bars.
Okay, roll a strength check. Or actually, roll an athletics check for me.
Here we go, guys. Athletics. Ooh, +5. Fuck yeah. 17.
Yeah, so you get her. You grabbing her like by the throat?
Yeah, grab her right by the throat.
You get her, and like you pull her in, and she's just like, and she's like scrambling as she's getting herself. What would you like to do now that you have her against the...
Rowena, grab the key, Rowena, and put it in the lock.
Okay, yeah, I want to do that.
Okay, so you grab the key. You're able to kind of like reach the bars and rip it off of her. She's like, "Let it go, let it go." And you got the key. What are you trying to do with the key?
I want to reach around and unlock it.
Okay. Pretty easy. You're able to get in there and open it. Gate kind of swings open as it goes. The cell is open. You're holding this woman.
Okay. Ivo, I think you should throw her back into the cell, and we're gonna get everybody else out, and then we're gonna lock the cell.
Okay, can
Save it, everybody.
Can I? Does she have anything on her, or do I feel like I have something on me that I can use to like to tie her up with? Like I don't know. I'm just thinking like a scarf or some sort of fabric that can be used.
You have your clothes. You can like rip off a sleeve or something.
Okay, I want to rip off a sleeve, or I guess I'm holding her, so I'm gonna have Rowena, if you can, like rip off a sleeve or something, a belt or something like that you have on you that we can use to kind of gag her and tie her up.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I have like a vest or anything extra?
Nothing like extra, just what you're wearing. But you had like long sleeves and like a vest on. You'd have enough cloth that you could like rip off of a shirt or something that you could use for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna rip off my sleeves and tear them into long strips for Ivo and help him out.
Okay, so you're the one tying her up, I assume then?
Yeah, I guess so.
And you're gagging her. So roll a survival check. Let's see how well you accomplish this task.
Okay. 16.
Yeah, so you feel like you've got her pretty well kind of tied up. You've kind of got her like hog style, so like her ankles now are behind her back, kind of attached to her arms, and like you've got a gag in her mouth. She's making some noises, but it's pretty well muffled. Everyone else in the jail cell is like, the fuck? The half-elf woman and the dragonborn though are just like, this is a bad plan. I told you, we shouldn't have been here in the first place. And the dragonborn kind of looks over. He's like, well, you never know when these things go awry. They go awry. You got what you wanted though. We're in the noble hands, and we got out of the jail cell.
What do you mean awry? This worked.
And then the half elf woman kind of looks at you again, and she again doesn't say anything. She's just not saying a damn word to you. Make a perception check though.
Ooh, finally. 20.
20, yeah, so you would definitely hear. In Thieves' Cant, she's talking to the Dragonborn. And it's really quiet. She's like mastered this art of whispering, so not a lot of people can hear. But she basically is saying, listen, as soon as they turn around, you knock them out, take whatever they have, and then we'll find a way to get out of this place on our own.
And I respond back in Thieves' Cant. Bitch! We're getting you out of here!
Now she is truly stunned. And is like, what? I was not expecting that. And so she looks to you, and back in Thieves' Cant, she says, I think you know the rules if we're both on a job at the same time.
I'm not on a job! I'm helping some friends!
Oh, so you're not here on business then?
No, I was here on business. My guy here didn't think it was a good idea. I don't know what you've heard about me, but it's not applicable to what I'm doing right now.
Well, perhaps we could find a way to help each other then. What do you say?
Okay. Bechdel tests. I'm into this.
Me and Crag here are looking for creative ways to take something from the noble hand a benefactor is looking for. But we've been at this for quite a while now. We've been here in this cell for the better part of 3 days, and we still aren't sure exactly how to get out. I mean, of course, we could have escaped any time we wanted to, you see. It probably would have been done quite a bit less clumsily than you have, but the harder problem isn't so much leaving the cell, it's leaving the dungeon in general. This is the undercroft of the Nobleham Temple. Getting out takes you right into the basement. There are several more passageways to have to escape through. Not Craig. Crag. C-R-A-G. Greg.
It's just like the one not creative name after like 1,000.
Don't forget Karen Spears. That's probably the best.
That's a slur.
Yeah, correct. So that's the portion we've been still trying to figure out. How do we get back into the temple proper from here? We thought it might be a good idea in the first place, but we've never been inside this deep, so we're not entirely certain. But perhaps, like I said, we can work on a couple things together. Seems like you haven't really thought through and through together here. If you leave the rest of this rabble in here, and if you let them escape, they'll certainly let them know where you are. So that can't happen. The god woman is obviously in a bit of disrepair, so that won't work. So I position this to you instead. How's about you and your accomplice here do what you need to save your friends. While you're out there, you discover a way to find some clandestine way to get back to the temple proper upstairs. I will make sure the rest of this rabble keep their mouths shut, and you see like a little glint in her pocket. And we'll take care of the god for you.
But what do you think? And I translate.
What's in her pocket?
You didn't see it exactly, but you saw a glint of metal. You're guessing it might be a shiv or something.
Oh, I thought she was gonna pay them off. Please don't hurt them.
Wait, so is this just to Rowena, or do I hear this as well?
She's talking out loud, but in Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
As of now, the only people you think who can hear that can understand are Rowena and this half-elven woman.
All right, Rowena. I guess Rowena kind of translates that to me then.
Yeah.
Can I? I want to run a perception check, I guess, to see if I trust her.
That would be an insight check to see if she's being honest, but you can roll an insight check and see if she's on the level.
15.
So, it's hard to tell if she's being trustworthy. I mean, she's clearly a criminal. You get the suspicion, though, that she actually is looking for creative ways to finish this job. And that they've been on it for a while. One thing, too, for you, Rowena, like, as a member of the Deep Guild, or the Deep Shadow, every guild has, like, their own little dialect of thieves' cant. Hers is not the same as yours, so you get the assumption she's part of a different organization, just for context.
Gotcha. And as she alluded to, we probably often conflict with each other.
Maybe not necessarily conflict or in a battle, but like you're not the same type of organization. She doesn't for that insight check, Ivo. She doesn't seem to be lying right now. You don't necessarily know if you can trust her, but for right now, it does feel like your agendas line up.
Okay, and then did she say to Rowena, that was translated to me, what their mission was, or what their mission was doing here, or was that still kind of not disclosed yet?
It was. They basically are trying to get something from the actual inside of the temple, but they couldn't figure out a way to infiltrate it other than getting caught. They just didn't expect to get caught and then put down into the lower area. They don't know how to get back up into the temple proper. So
okay.
They're hoping that you two, as you're helping out your friend, as you said, find a way to get back into the temple for them. And if you can find a way back into the temple that's sneaky, they'll assist you.
Okay, so... All right, so I feel like she's on that. Okay, Rowena, what do you... So you feel like, can we trust her that she's going to keep the well-dressed female and the naked and homeless, the drunk and the homeless guy at bay while we kind of search around? What's your gut telling you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what advantage it would be if she wreaked further havoc, because that would be exactly what she was cautioning us against. So I don't know if I trust her, but I believe she'll do what she says, and we should go get our guys.
Okay. The only thing I'm worried about is that it sounds like these doors in front of us, as the DM said, we perceived guards come in and out. So we're gonna have to pay attention to that, knowing that the moment someone looks in and sees a tied up guard lady, that's gonna be an issue. But I guess we'll have to deal with that when we deal with it when it happens. So yeah, let's do that. Tell her to let's do the plan. Keep these other people at bay in the jail cell. Keep them quiet. And we'll help them out once we find a way out of the temple, or out of the dungeon into the temple.
Works for me.
Okay.
And I translate that all to the.
So she kind of looks back at you and she like goes, "Very well. Remember though, I'm not the kind of person that forgets. If anything goes south for whatever reason, you let the Koromir know that Renaya is still in the basement."
Let the Koromir know. Trust me, you can trust me to deliver this message.
Just for clarification, DM, what is a Koromir again?
It's the name of the organization, you assume, at least.
Cool.
Renaya. There can only be one. Rowena. Okay.
You spelled it right. Nice.
Wow. Oh, I did? Both words?
Yeah.
Nice.
Way off.
Solid victory.
I was picturing like Cavassier.
But she like holds onto your hand. She goes, "Don't make this a problem."
Oh God! Now I remember why I only travel with guys. But I say that to myself in common.
She doesn't understand common. She spoke in common.
She does internal in her mind.
Just so you know as well, everyone everyone for the most part can probably speak Common. There might be a few exceptions, but Common is the most
Hence
common.
the name.
So, but she does let you escape. You kind of see that she now is turned around, and you can kind of hear as you're leaving. So everyone here is gonna shut up. You're not gonna say a damn thing. And she slowly is looking at the guard there, and she looks over at Crag, and Crag just kind of looks at the guard and kind of you hear a little throaty chuckle, and he just takes his big old clawed foot and just kicks her right in the face and knocks her out. They actually untie her, take off her clothes, and throw her in the corner as if she's just any regular prisoner. That's kind of the way they're trying to make an issue not an issue. And you see that she does have a shiv in her hand now, and she says, so if anyone says anything, you're not only going to lose your tongue, but your life. And then you guys are outside of the jail cell, and we're going to switch scenes again.
Wait, sorry, DM. This took off a little bit quicker than I thought it would be, but by chance, did the guard have a weapon that maybe myself or Rowena grabbed before we left?
Yeah, fair enough. She does have a weapon. It is like a little cudgel, like a billy club. I can put it. Do you want to grab it, or is Rowena gonna grab it? Who's grabbing the weapon?
I'll grab it.
Okay, I'm just gonna add it into your inventory so you have it. By the way, I'm keeping everything else in your inventory. Just remember that you don't have those things.
Right.
No, not what I want. Let's see if I can.
Yeah. Helm willing, I think we're gonna have to raid wherever they kept their stuff if we succeed in getting the other two out.
So it's in your inventory as a club.
Okay.
Just
but it's like a billy club.
Yeah, it's like a little billy club, kind of like a wooden dowel with a couple of iron bars around the end.
And just in case I missed it, the status of the guard is she passed out? What exactly is she right now?
The guard right now is passed out.
Okay.
Passed out, yeah. So you kind of have this club. You're outside of the cell. We're gonna switch scenes again. It's been again about maybe 3 hours since the last time. Not since the last interaction, but the last time we talked to you, Zunis.
Right.
You're still in there across this cell from Captain Ivo. Captain Yao, excuse me. And you hear from the other jail cell this noise.
All right, yeah, that's got to be something, man.
That's coming from Captain Yao's cell. So you're telling me
that? Yeah. Can you keep it down, man?
Let a man shit in peace.
All right. You know, we had our negative course of action before I'll let you do your business. I just feel like we should be more proactive, man. I feel like we should be getting out of here.
I don't think you're understanding it. There isn't a way to get out of here. You're in here.
You're
in here until they end you. You realize that now, right?
I just haven't seen a guard come past in forever.
That is also true. You have not seen a guard come past. You don't know why.
Isn't that strange? There was a guard coming past every 2.5 minutes before or whatever.
Captain Yao kind of starts to respond to that and think through, and he goes, "You know what, you sodding idiot? You're probably right. I haven't heard one either." Kind of looks around for a bit, and he goes,
"The only thing I heard was your
guard." And
nothing.
Silence. Nothing. That's awful strange.
It's a good sign, right?
I
got an idea.
Like that's quite a good sign.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Let me call out to my friends. If the guard's not here, maybe my friends are still here. We can link up with them. Then we can be square. No?
Alright, sorry, I'm on mute. My fault. Try not to cough right in the mic for you. I need
you have
Rowena.
coronavirus?
I need Rowena and Ivo when he gets a chance to roll stealth checks.
I have a 14. 1-4.
I actually do as well. Also 14.
So right now you are not. No one's been made aware of you. I'm gonna put this on the map because you can see the rest now that you're out.
Nate,
Yes.
the exit is by their cell.
The exit, you would know this. They don't know this. But you, as someone in the Noble Hand, have been part of this for a bit. The exit is actually that kind of square area all the way to the left of the map. You see some stairs. They go back up into the Noble Hand. Right now, you're underneath the Noble Hand Temple.
I didn't realize those stairs were the exit, but I guess I would have known. Cool, thanks.
Yeah. Again, you don't necessarily see that, but you kind of have your bearings in this place. You've been down here before. So, Rowena and I both
just
see
for
that
clear,
hallway.
where's that again?
You don't know.
Okay, and we haven't disclosed to even him where he is.
He knows he's in the treasure cell, so he knows where he is.
Right.
You don't know where he is.
Got it.
So, the last thing that you kind of wanted to do, Zunis, was reach out to your friends.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. How are you doing that?
Since we yelled and no guard answered, we're gonna try yelling.
Are you yelling for who?
I'm gonna just yell, Rowena, Ivo, Thad, kind of thing.
And you're yelling like pretty loudly?
As loud as I can because I know this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not that loud. I don't want to attract more attention that another guard may come. So loud enough that my voice would go that it wouldn't be heard outside.
Yeah. So Rowena and Ivo can definitely hear you. It's not faint. They sound close. I'll just point the rest in because you can kind of get a sense of it now. But you can kind of hear the voice of Zunis coming from around the corner. So I'll just paint in the rest of this for you guys. As you're kind of exploring it, let me fix that. So you can kind of get a sense now where Zunis is because you can hear his voice.
Zunis!
Rowena, I'm close. Are you guys out?
Shh, yes.
All right, I'm gonna whisper now, but at this volume.
They can make it around the corner. You don't see any other guards. You do remember this, Rowena. There's only one guard that patrols at a time. You kind of gauge the shifts are relatively decently long. You don't know how long the female guard was in hers exactly, but the shifts are usually about an hour or so before they switch. So you feel like you've got a little bit of time before another guard comes knocking. So you run around the corner, and you do see Zunis over there.
I'm right here.
In fact, I can
it's so
probably
good to
drop
see
you in here.
Are you alright, Zunis?
I'm fine. Just let me out. Get out of here. We gotta go find Thad.
Can I see Captain Yao?
Yes, you can.
Oh, look who it is.
That's the rest of these shit for brains. Not only a bunch of snitches, you're a bunch of traitors as well. I see you over there, Ivo. Don't think you can hide your fucking face from me.
Do you see me, Yao? From the looks of it, you look pretty banged up.
Yeah, I can smell your stench even without my eyes. Come here. Talk to me. See what you've done, you fucking horrible piece of shit.
What I've done, you're the one who wants to go rob an innocent village. You brought this upon yourself.
Don't act like you haven't done the same. Now get over here.
So I guess I'll walk up to his cell. Okay. What do you want to say to me? What else?
I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
13.
Yeah, not enough. So he lunges his arms right out of the cell, and he pulls you in. And in the same way that you tried to grab the guard, he grabs you. And he's got you by the neck, and you can't see because now you're facing outward. But Zunis and Rowena both can see that there is a sharp piece of metal at your neck. It looks like he maybe stashed something or had a piece of metal on his person that he's kind of fashioned into a shiv, and he's got it to your neck.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
And so he says, "Yeah, I told you I could smell you, you disgusting piece of shit. Now listen, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get me out of this fucking place. We're gonna get out of here together, and then I'm gonna murder you and everyone you fucking know."
That's not an incentive.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that appealing.
It's not about appealing. You can either live for the next 5 seconds, or you can live for the next 30 minutes. You pick.
I'll live for. I feel like I'm gonna live a lot longer than that. Am I just completely defenseless? Can I try to hit him away with the club or move his hand at all?
Roll. He's got you pretty tough. It's gonna be hard to hit him because you're kind of grappled right now. But you can try if you want to roll an attack roll with the cudgel at disadvantage.
All right, here we go. That's not good. What would I? Do I have any sort of hit bonus with the
cudgel? Yeah, if you look at actions, your hit bonus on that is.
Let me refresh it. It hasn't loaded yet.
Oop, I didn't equip it. Club.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I forgot to equip it. It's +5.
Ooh, 10.
Yeah, not enough to hit him. So you're kind of swinging at the bars, and he goes, "You just keep moving." He kind of slices a little bit more on you. Take 1 point of damage as he kind of nicks you with it. He goes,
"Can I go tackle Ivo and get him out of the way?"
You can try if you want. Roll a athletics check.
19.
Okay, so you do manage to get to him before he can kind of grab it. But as you start to pull him, you say, "Listen, that's a pretty unwise decision. This blade isn't moving unless it goes through him." And he kind of cuts a little deeper and takes another point of damage. "Get back before you do something stupid." Now listen, I'm not dumb either. I know that I'm stuck in here until you open this gate. So for the time being, we'll just have a temporary truce. You remember what the rules were from the Lord list, don't you? I claim truce. Fair's fair for the time being.
Yeah. All right.
What
do you want? You want?
Don't you want to escape?
Yes, I want to escape. You're gonna help me get out of this place.
And then you're gonna murder him and everything.
Yes.
Ivo, what are you feeling?
All right. Well, I feel like go ahead and let's let him out. You have the key. Let him out.
All right, if you say so, Ivo.
Oh. Remember how many mistakes I naively made? This feels like one of them.
So you go to unlock the door and it opens up. As it kind of like a little bit of a crack happens. He does put down the blade, and you let him, and he opens the door. He says, "Good. It's the first fucking smart thing you guys have done this whole fucking time I've seen you. Now how do we get out of this shithole?"
Well, I sort of know my way around.
Okay, I clearly fucking don't, and he points at his face.
So we can leave you.
All right. Well, let's get Zunis out also.
Okay.
So you open the door on Zunis. Zunis is now outside of it as well.
It's crazy that the same key works for all the locks.
There's a few
let's
keys
get out
on
of
there,
here.
we'll say. You try a couple, they all go through.
Sure. Okay, so we're gonna have to go to the left, and I believe there's a staircase. I don't remember exactly where, but the staircase is what's gonna get us out of here. First, we gotta find Thad, though.
So you kind of get Zunis out. You start to make up a little bit of a plan, and as you're conversing, we'll switch scenes again, and we are going to go back to Thad. So Thad, you're still in this place. You're still kind of dark. You've been now left alone again for a few more hours. You haven't seen anyone else come into your room in a bit. You said you have dark vision, right? Okay. You not only hear, but you see the door open just a crack. You don't see anything enter, though. It just opens just a little bit. I think you still might be muted. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Forgot to push the talk.
Who's there?
There we go. Got it. Nailed it. Yes. So you kind of see the door open just a smidgen. You don't hear a voice. You just hear a bit of a gasp.
A gasp?
A gasp.
Please come give me aid if you know the goodness of.
So you kind of see the door open a little bit wider and then close a little bit behind it. Roll a perception check for me.
$11.
11. You don't see anything moving towards you. The door opened and closed. For the time being, you don't think anyone else came in. Maybe someone just opened the door and kind of rattled off. Few minutes go by. Nothing seems to change. All of a sudden, you hear a little tink.
I do my best to turn my head towards the sound, point of order.
It was coming kind of. It was so the way the room is situated. There is like a separate cell inside the torture room. So there's a torture chamber proper, and then connected to it is a cell where they usually would put you if you were there. It sounded like the door to that cell opened.
Who's there? Are you a friend, foe, or spirit?
Roll a perception check a little bit. Or sorry, not a persuasion check.
9.
9. Still silence. Not a lot happening. A few more minutes go by. You don't hear or see anything, but you swear you feel breathing like near you, like close enough to feel the breath. And that's where we're gonna switch again, since you didn't see or hear anything. Back to the trio over there in the corner. Zunis and Ivo and Rowena, you were all together with Captain Yao, also there with you, as you're kind of in this now area. You still don't have any of your things. It's probably been about 15 minutes of what you expect to be the hour-long shift rotation before another guard shows up. What are you guys planning on doing from here?
Well, we gotta find Thad, and we gotta find her. Zunis, do you know where they might be? Imagine they're taking him to a very a different cell, a more select cell, or a primary holding area. Do you know where else we could go that they might be holding him?
I know that the prison itself is not gigantic, and I think we can investigate thoroughly, considering we have a little bit of time before we get out of here.
Should we split up?
No, I think we should stay together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
we
you
should
said, it's not too
definitely.
big. Yeah, we should say
Yeah,
together, it's not too big.
yeah, we
Okay,
should
Zunis,
definitely.
do you want to lead the way and kind of take us to a different area?
Yeah, I think we should go toward um, at least the left of where the whatchamacallit is, where we are right now. You know, the left of our screen. Sorry for referencing the game rather
No,
than
it's okay.
living in it.
Um,
Uh,
Basically, with what you saw, like the paths of travel are so far this way. There is a main hallway that leads back to the exit, and then you know that there is a couple doors here.
Yeah,
okay.
we know that some guards go in and out of it, but I wonder if that's maybe where they're keeping our stuff, since it's right by the holding cell.
You want to go investigate real quick?
Let's try. Yeah, I say we try to go into one of those doors that were back by our where Marina and I were being held.
Yeah, since 15-minute passed since we last, you know, had any action, I imagine we're gonna get caught pretty soon. So we gotta really move.
So you guys kind of walk down that area. How are you guys checking this out? Are you like just walking in, trying to open it? Are you trying to sneak around?
Yeah,
I mean, we're go ahead, Zunus.
I think we're sneaky, and also, you know, kind of if we see any like kind of lock that we can try and pick, we're trying to do that and see if that'll lead us to Thad.
So everyone roll a stealth check for me.
20.
Nice.
18.
Okay, and then 8.
Yeah.
Let's see how Captain Meow does for y'all. Good enough. All right. So, you kind of walk down that hallway, and you do see that there are 2 doors in front of you. They're pretty thick doors. They're wooden doors. Because you were kind of rolling a little bit sneakily, you can tell that there's a bit of like a porthole up near the top that's meant to be seen through. You can kind of look through it pretty quietly without making too much attention. As you put your hand on the hinge, you can tell that it's locked. Um, both doors seem to lead into the same room, and it seems to be like a mess hall gathering place. There's a table in the center. There are lockers and foot chests. So your assumption that your things might be in this room is likely accurate. The only concern is there are 3 guards inside this location. 2 seem to be the general guards that you've noticed. Excuse me, there are 2 guards in this location. Both seem to be the other guards that typically patrol in this area.
Okay, and both doors are locked, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So we see the guards, which kind of screws us again. Huh. I'm
As
wondering
of
if
now,
we
they
can
haven't
go back.
noticed you.
Right. Okay. Well, I think if we can converse quietly. I remember Rowena said earlier something about, you know, taking the guard's uniform
Yeah.
if she's still hopefully unconscious.
Yeah,
And
you
you
can
want
take
and
those.
do what with?
And then Rowena could maybe be that guard in disguise.
Although they might recognize me.
Yeah. Although I remember Nate said that trained guards here earlier, so she might be new and they might not know.
Or we can
'Cause
take
all women look
Captain
the
Meow
same.
and knock him around with it.
Yeah, I feel like with 4 of us, we could overpower these guards. One, with having the club and having a shiv. The thing is about getting into the room, kind of like as a surprise. What I'm thinking though is that it seems like these are the guards who are waiting for the next round of patrols. So maybe if we wait until one of them is supposed to be on duty, to then they will come out and we can jump them and force a way in.
This is a ballsy choice. But we don't really have anything else. It would be nice to have Thad at our side, but it's kind of tough.
We can't leave any man behind.
I know.
Do you think we should try to find Thad before we get our stuff?
Yeah, otherwise he may never get out.
But what if we? But I feel like we. What if we
I
get
just think
Thad? What if there's more guards around Thad though? We need to have our stuff to fight them.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I vote. I think that we should wait, and it's been about a little over 15 minutes, but hopefully within the next 30 minutes or so, another guard will want to come out of this door, and we can jump them, and then take care of the guard on the inside.
In terms of Schrodinger's Thad, if we jump these guards and get caught, Thad will theoretically be in the same place where he was before. But if we jump them and get past them, and we leave Thad behind, he's still there. It's
I'm not gonna leave that.
I know, it's just a hard decision to, without any way to reach him at all.
All right. Well,
that was a crazy laugh from Meow.
Why don't we do this then? Zunis, since you know these grounds really well, and you have your heart with your buddy Thad, why don't myself, Rowena, and Yao wait here by the doors, maybe for another guard to come out while you go look for Thad. You can sneak around and try to see if you can find him. Not necessarily grab him, but see where he's at.
And I just take the keys and kind of maneuver and look.
Yeah,
right,
take the keys.
It's a little scary to go on my own. I think I'd rather stay with you guys, and we do this all together as a team.
Okay. So do we want to wait, or do we want to try to get the guards to come out sooner? Does anyone have any good ideas? Maybe it's just knocking on the door might be enough might spook them though, but it might be enough to get them to come out.
Yeah, and
get them out.
I also have my spells too.
Oh, what kind of spells you got that might work?
I can Nature's Wrath them, which will cause vines to spring up on them and kind of paralyze them. And that's the only one that's really applicable.
Okay. How about we have Rowena pick the lock, and then once it's open, you cast this spell on them.
That works. Do you guys have spells as well?
No. I'm a regular old
I only have a combat one.
Ah, all right. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
right.
DM, that's what we want to do.
I'd like to pick the lock.
Okay. Oh, you have the keys.
Oh.
Oh, the keywords?
Yeah.
It's just one key for everything. This is crazy.
You have like a big key ring of all the keys, so you have the key.
Oh, okay.
So just so I know, you're gonna open the door, try to get them to rush out, and then bum rush them, or are you just like charging in the room?
No, I think at this point, if we can just open the door, open the door, and then Zunis, you go in first and you cast the spell on them as soon as the door is open. So Zunis take the keys and open the door and then cast the spell, and myself, Rowena, and Yao will be quickly behind you.
Okay.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so
And Nate, can that spell only be cast on one person
one
or
thing,
multiple?
and it's got to be within 10 feet of you.
Okay.
Ooh, can we see if they're within 10 feet?
You can see. I'll open up the room because you can see within the little holes. I'll say. So hold on, let me open it up. I'll give you a shot at it. Burp. So this is the room in front of you. So yeah.
Okay.
So you can open
And where
that
the
door
guards
and
at?
get within 10 feet pretty quick.
Okay.
The guard.
So he can only do one?
Yeah, you can only do one.
He can only. Okay, so Thad, you cast the spell on the furthest guard, and then I'll come in with the club and take out the nearest one, right behind you.
I love that idea. Cool.
So Yao, kind of hearing all this, is like, if you think I'm giving you my shiv, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots.
All right, yeah, I'll keep your shiv. Fucking keep it. You can't even see. What are you gonna? You just stand here.
That's what I'm gonna
Smell-
do, but I'm not letting go
smell-
of this thing. If you guys fucking die, it's your own problem.
All right. Well, if you smell another guard, then just stab them, okay? But you're just hanging out.
Whatever. I'm just gonna stay over
You're
here.
worse than useless, and you have a bad attitude.
I'm shitting at your
Yeah,
handlers.
at least try to
I
have a
can't wait
good
to murder
attitude.
all of you.
You know.
So you open the door. You do see a guard. So you're gonna immediately try to cast Nature's
My
Wrath
spell.
on the first one. Okay.
Yes.
So.
Well, on the one that's farthest away is Nathan, or excuse me, is Clayton specified.
Yeah.
Wow, I just combined you guys to Nathan.
Nathan. All right. So he needs to beat 13. 11. So the vines shoot up as he's in this chair, and he's just like stuck on this chair now. He doesn't even have a chance to get up. The first one is restrained into the chair by these vines that spring up out of the stone floor.
Nice.
Now we're gonna roll initiative. So I would like everyone to roll initiative for me.
Alrighty. I feel really bad that Jesse is not getting to participate.
You should really feel bad because this is actually entirely Zeus's fault.
Why? Just because he was naive last time?
Yes, you guys might not have ended up in prison.
You know what? It's excellent storytelling. I'm loving.
I also did have something planned for that. I just didn't see anything, so wasn't
I have
expecting it to be
21.
that bad. 24?
21.
21.
9.
Who got 9?
I had 21 as well. I rolled a true 20 and have 21.
Oh, nice.
Zunis rolled a 9, 10 with a -1 initiative.
21 and you're not in this, so we're just gonna give you a 0. Okay. You guys are here. Come here, you. Alright, so the one labeled G2 is restrained. G1 is there. We'll get you guys into your good spots here at the door. Ivo, you're charging in. So you're all kind of around there. Ivo, it is your turn first. You want to just go try to take a hit at the first one?
Yeah, is that, I imagine G2 is the one that doesn't have the vines on them? Or, sorry, G1?
G1, correct.
Yeah, I'm going to take a big old swing at G1, try to get him right on the old knocker, the head.
Swing.
Nikissa.
Nikissa, go ahead and roll to hit on him.
D20, right? Or no?
Yeah, D20 plus 5.
9.
9. I don't think that's enough. That is not enough.
Yeah.
So the cudgel just kind of cracks. He's got some armor on it. He actually kind of like uses his helmet to kind of like take most of it. Doesn't really quite do any damage. Rowena, it is your turn.
Okay. I would like to use my... Oh wait, but I don't have my weapons, right?
So basically you can try to run, you could try to hide, you could try to grapple them and hold them down, or you could try to just punch them.
Yeah, I want to punch him.
Yeah,
Okay.
girl.
So you're going to roll to hit. If you see where it says unarmed strike,
Yeah.
that's what you can do. So it's going to be D20 plus 1. But your strength is a -1, so you would do no damage, no matter what you roll.
So it doesn't do me any good?
I would say your best shot is probably to try to like restrain him by grappling.
Okay, I'd like to grapple him then.
Alright, so roll an athletics check and let's see if he can outdo you. Probably not.
I got 8.
He rolled a 2, so you have like managed to just like tackle him straight up in a very un-Rowena-like move. Have just like straight up Goldberg speared him right in the waist. Knocked him off the chair. You are now like grappling him. He's prone. You're kind of on top of him as you're trying to hold stuff back. That brings us to his turn though. He's just gonna try to like fight off and go for his club with you. So he's rolling a disadvantage. He's not able to do that, so he's still grappled by you, and that's gonna bring us back to the other one, who's gonna try to break out of the vines. Also unsuccessful. Zunis, it is your turn.
Well, I have, a bit of, I have my unarmed strike. So I guess I'm just gonna.
Forgot to mention this. You do see chests and lockers on the edges and like storage things around. So you could also, I should have told this before earlier. Sorry, Rowan, if you want to go back, you can. You assume your things are probably in there. Those are like some
All right.
stuff.
I'll
Wait.
stick with having grappled him, I guess, because I was successful.
Yeah. So there were 2 guys in there. One is obviously under my spell, and then the other guy is kind of just beaten up. And we kind of have the all clear now to go through shit.
I mean, you could always go through shit. You just don't fight, like don't engage. But one is currently being grappled. One is being restrained by your spell. So you could also, you feel pretty safe looking and rummaging through what's there to see if you find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through real quick and see if we can get more of our weapons.
Roll
Possibly.
an investigation check.
Oh boy. Got a +0 on this one. 16.
All right, nice. You do find your things, and you find a few other things.
Can I throw them to all my people?
They're not in like neat bundles or anything, but you could give them their weapons at least if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got your stuff, guys.
Thank you, Zunis.
Yeah, grab it
Thanks,
while
dude.
you're grappling. Yeah.
Well done.
So you now have these guards. These guards, by the way, I'll just make a note. These are the same guards that are part of your particular faith. Just putting it out there in the world, Zunis.
Gotcha. I don't think we should kill them then. I think that may conflict with my beliefs, but I think we should.
So yeah. Go on, Zunis. Why shouldn't we kill them?
So it doesn't matter because it's not your turn. It's now Ivo's turn. You've got these guards here. Both are sort of restrained. What would you like to do?
And do I have all my weapons again then?
You do.
I mean, Zunis, you tell me now why I shouldn't just take the G1's head off with my what's the God Spear or what do I have now? Forget.
You know
you
what?
World Spike. Those things, everything
Shatter
in the
Spike.
bag of holding. You do have.
Ivo, you know what?
Shatter Spike.
Slice his fucking head off, man. I've been wronged by these people before. They shouldn't have put us here. We did everything in our best faith, and I naively, as our dungeon master said, put us here. Do what you want to do. You got your weapon.
All right.
Yeah.
You can scalp him, bastard style. Did I see that with you in previous? I don't remember.
All right, I guess we haven't killed any of these guards yet. We've only kind of
Apprehended.
incapacitated them.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but it's not my turn. But anyway.
All right, what about? Are you, Rowena? Is your idea to kill them or to try to stun them in some way?
My idea was to maybe incapacitate one, but then take the other one hostage, just use him as like a human shield, and use him to get into other spaces, maybe find out where that is being held.
Right. That's a fair point. I mean, I could do that too since you're already kind of on top of him, I could tell him to overpower him. And then this way hopefully he would know right away where good old boy Thad is. All right, so I want to do that. So I want to use my sword, my Shatter Spike, to, I guess, intimidate him and kind of threaten to kill him if he doesn't stop resisting Rowena and freeze, basically.
Okay, roll intimidation check.
Ooh, 21.
Okay. Just don't hurt me. Oh God, this is not what's supposed to. Okay, yes. What do you want?
our friend, we have a fourth person here, or a fifth person now, who's been locked up. He wasn't in any other jail cell that we could see. Where would they have taken him?
Oh, you want the drunken dwarf? Okay, yeah, for sure. Bottlebot's just in the torture room. I don't care. Just don't kill me. That's fine. Yeah, he's in the torture chamber, straight down the hallway. Yeah.
Cut off his arms.
Okay.
Please
Man,
don't,
dude,
please
this
don't do that.
teacher.
Please don't do that. Please don't.
Listen,
Cut off
Zunis,
one.
let's get Thad, and then you can come back and do whatever you want to this guy.
Please don't
There's
do
no
that.
coming. There's no coming back, man. I'm gonna.
Do we
Judas,
do we need a key? Do you have a? Is there a key to this torture room?
If you
A special key.
if you got in here, you can probably get in there. It's the same keys they give to the guards. We have the same set.
Okay.
Is there anybody in there with me?
I don't know right now.
Okay, that's fair. As long as you guys are okay with it, I say we just tie this guy up, gag him, and then let's go get Thad as soon as possible. If they're torturing him, we don't want him to stay in there.
And Zunis would know where because you've had the layouts of this place. The torture chamber is here. Oop, did I get that? No, hold on. Burp.
Do you just highlight it?
I did my mistake. I'll open it though.
Ah, we're so close.
So
Let's bust through.
Couple things now that you have your bearings as well, so you kind of, because Zunis would know this and could explain it to the rest. There's a few other areas that are in here. So the cells are kind of left in that back corner. You've seen most of that, all of you have. The space right before the torture cell, in between you and the room you're in now, is the head warden's office. So walking past that way leads you past the warden. If you go northward, it's kind of like a kitchen storehouse area, and then in the very far top left corner is the barracks for the guards.
Oh god.
So Zunis would know that as the layout.
All right. Well,
Now that we know exactly where we can find Thad, torture room.
Should we tie this guy up? I have my rope back.
yeah. Let's tie and gag him up, and then I'm assuming that these vines, the spell cast is gonna stay for a while. It'll last.
I think it's only a minute.
Yeah, we should cut his head
Okay.
off the other day.
I think you're overcompensating, Zunis.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, I was so naive before, and
That's not this guy's fault.
it is just my problem now.
Okay, so let's tie both of these guys up,
Okay.
and gag them.
Who's trying to tie them up?
I have some rope
I will
back.
tie up. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What'd you say, Rowena?
Oh, I was just saying I have some rope, so I could take one and you take the other.
Okay, you tie up the one that you already were kind of grappling with, and I'll tie up G2 then. Yeah.
Okay. Both of you roll survival checks for me. And then while you're doing that, we're gonna switch scenes a little bit again. So Thad, it's now been several hours that you've. I mean, it's been days that you've been in here, but it's been several hours. Yet again, as you're in here in the darkness, not hearing too much around you. It was a very strange thing that happened earlier. It definitely felt like something ran in there. Just roll a straight intelligence check for me.
Seven.
7. You are not sure what that was or what happened.
I'm delirious, y'all.
Okay,
I'm
so-
getting tortured. It is.
Torture sucks. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to give you opportunities. We'll circle back though. So you guys have tied
Ouch.
both of these up. What were your survival checks again?
I got 14.
Okay.
14 also.
Okay, awesome. So they seem pretty well tied up. Maybe not your best work, but they don't seem to be going anywhere. They're currently gagged. Neither of them are able to make any noise. One is scared shitless. He's very, very worried. You've managed to get all of your stuff back. I will say you've also managed to grab Thad's. Just one quick thing though. Whoever had the bag of holding with the world spikes in it, you do not have that any longer. So just a heads up, that is not in your possession anymore. So, and that wasn't in the
Thad had it. It's gone.
Perfect. Yeah. So you are finished tying these folks up. Where are you guys wanting to head toward?
The torture room to save Thad.
Okay. So as you're going back that way, are you guys like trying to get there as quickly as you can? Are you trying to be sneaky?
Absolutely. I'm trying to be sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky.
Okay. Everyone to roll a stealth check.
I mean,
13.
21.
Okay.
16.
Okay. Everyone kind of makes it up there, and they kind of get to it. You've managed to kind of make it down that hallway without too much trouble. No one seems to notice you at this point. From behind you, though, Ivo is kind of following. Who's in the rear, by the way?
Probably Zunis. That seems to be his move.
Okay. Ivo is staying like with you, and he's got his hand on your shoulder.
You mean Yao?
Yao, sorry. Yao is holding on to you as kind of like his guide, since he can't see. He's kind of putting his arm on the wall and stuff. Also trying to stay kind of quiet. And he you feel him kind of pull you a little bit, Zunis, and he says, "Wait, I heard something."
What'd you hear?
That noise. It sounded like what I was hearing the other night. Like someone's scratching on the wall or something. There's movement above us. So you guys are all in kind of this hallway, and Yao is saying that he hears that noise coming from above that area.
All right. Well, I know where the torture chamber is. We should get that and then get out of here. I don't know if it's worth investigating.
Wait, what's going on, Zunis?
There's a noise that Yao hears above that he and I have been hearing for a while. And we could look into it, but we've stranded that for so long.
You mean right in the door that we're right next to?
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, I just don't think nothing good is behind that door or floor.
I agree.
The door above you leads to the storeroom kind of kitchen area. The door below you leads to the warden. And right now you've been sneaky enough to not have anyone kind of hear you or notice you. The only thing I will put out and like in front of you, if you go further, is the like entry point. Zunis would know that at that point there's a couple of guards that are stationed. They can't see you just yet. They're kind of around the corner. One is facing away from you that you can see now. He's facing the rear. He's got kind of a desk set up that's meant to take in new prisoners. As you're kind of sneaking up against the wall trying to hide behind the corner in kind of that little alcove, you see that there's another guard that kind of like patrols a little bit. So there's two more guards here.
And then the noise that they're talking about is literally like on the floor above us.
Yes. Yeah. So the noise is up, and you guys are here. I didn't even move you. You guys are kind of hiding along this little alcove, trying to avoid the guards in front of you.
Okay. So just going through one of those doors next to us won't take us to where the noise is. It's literally like a different level.
Well, no. If you go in through this door here, I'll even maybe open a little bit more. It'll help a little bit. If you go, you're not giving me what I want. Give me what I want.
And Nate, are our characters starving right now? Like, if I have the knowledge that it's...
No, you guys have been eating. Like,
okay, so we're not like
starving. That has not been given food. But you
right.
guys have been eating. Like, it's not great, but like bread and stuff. So, like, see that little area that I kind of notched open for you? Ivo is saying he hears the noise coming from that side, that area.
Gotcha.
And Zunis would remember that his cell was right up against that wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Zunis, you don't want to open the door really quick and take a peek. You want to just keep going?
I mean, ignorance is bliss, but I just don't think we're gonna find anything positive there, you know. And the door's already closed, and I have an idea where Thad is.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get that.
Okay, let's head to
I
Thad.
feel like every time we, whet our appetites with curiosity, we end up in a bigger pickle than.
You mean every time that you just run your mouth?
Basically, man, this is the one time where I'm avoiding it. You guys wouldn't let me cut off the feed either.
Okay, let's continue on to that.
Let's head to the torture room and get him out, and then let's get out of here. Sneak out.
So, again, the torture room is connected to the main entry area. There is no... there are 2 guards that are in that room, so what's your game plan for this?
I can't... I also have another spell, I believe. The Divine Smite.
Yeah, you could. You have to hit with your weapon for that to enact.
And we have our weapons, correct?
You basically cast Ensnaring Strike on your weapon, and then you can try to hit. If it works, they also get tangled up.
All right. I've got my spell. We've got our weapons. Let's fight, team.
Okay, so you guys are doing that. Go ahead and let's go ahead and roll initiative for me then if you're gonna fight these guys.
Sir.
Ooh, I got a 4.
I got a 17.
Oh, Nate, can I get my... How do I get my weapons back into actions?
If you go to your equipment, just click on the checkboxes next to them.
Oh, active. I see it. Okay.
Rowena, what is your...
14.
And then Thad, actually, I'm going to have you roll initiative too, since you're going to be able to hear them outside of battle. Or outside of the room.
Yeah.
Fittingly, I rolled a 2.
Thad, it sounds like you're in outer space.
I rolled a 2!
It was a 2!
It's one small roll for man, one giant roll for mankind. Okay. Alright, friends. So, Zunis, you are up first. You see one guard seated at the table. He has not seen you yet. Another guard is patrolling the corner by the entrance over here.
Alright, the one that I haven't seen yet, I'm going to try to strike with melee weapon attack.
Okay.
And
I'm trying to get him. Let me just see if you can make it all the way over there. Oh yeah.
I'll use my Divine Smite if I strike.
Okay. So go ahead and roll to hit with whatever weapon you're trying to hit him with.
Is it a D20?
D20 plus 4.
Ooh, fuck. 7.
Not enough, so you miss. Your Divine Smite is still active, so if you hit him again, if you do hit with it within this combat, it'll count. It stands for a minute. But you do miss. I don't think you have any more bonus actions because you used Divine Smite, so that's going to be Rowena now. It's your turn.
Okay, I would like to use my short bow to hit the further one away.
Yeah, the one that Zunis is attacking?
Yep.
Sure. Go ahead and roll to hit with your bow.
Okay. Alright, 16.
16, that's just enough to hit it.
Great.
So go ahead and roll damage, and you're going to add your sneak attack bonus.
Alright. So the disadvantage is 5. And then the sneak attack bonus is 12.
So 12 total or 17 total?
12 total.
So Zunus.
Or sorry, 17 total.
So Zunus sees this arrow just whiz past him, and it hits this guard, and it just hits him right in the throat, and he just crumbles.
Yes.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Just dead. Blood, a little bit of blood spray on Zunus as he's a little shocked, because he literally just missed with a sword and then shoop, backed up with an arrow and fell. Now the other guard kind of turns around and sees that and is like, the fuck? And so he just turns around and goes for the first thing he sees, which is this blue fishman creature, and he's going to try to hit you with his weapon. So he rolls to hit. 14. That's going to hit you. You take 4 points of damage from his spear as he kind of like shoves at you. Oops, sorry, 5 points of damage. Now hearing the screaming cries of the guard. You hear...
My damage good?
You hear a... you hear a door behind you open. The door right there. And what you notice... is as that door opens, you can now see inside the warden's office. The warden has heard these, has jumped behind the out from the desk, and is now realizing there's a bit of a jailbreak inside of his dungeon. It is the guard went. Ivo, it's your turn.
Oof. So he opened the door. Yeah. So basically the warden just appears right next to me, right? He opens the door.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna try to take him out then with my shadow spike.
All right. Yeah,
and just kind of like jab it right through his chest into the heart.
Okay, roll to hit with it.
Ooh, pretty good. 18.
18, nice. That definitely hits. So now roll damage. Are you using one hand or two again?
I'm using two hands on this.
So it'll be 1d10 plus 3.
10.
Nice. Okay. Big hit. So the warden's a little stunned as he sees just this like door open and a sword comes down, and so he gets a big gash on his shoulder there. But this warden is tough. She's she's a burly, kind of no-nonsense woman who is now just shooting daggers at you and is just shaking off this sword that you've kind of swung at her. Who's that bringing it to? Fad, it is your turn now. You can hear the sounds of combat outside. No one has opened the door or anything. You're still chained up. Would you like to try anything?
No. Not at the moment.
Okay. That'll bring us back to the top of the round, which is now going to bring us to the warden. Zunus and Thad actually knows who this person is. She's one of the higher. She's one of the higher words. She's one of the higher kind of members of the Noble Hand. Not quite as high as a Watcher, but she's kind of considered a leader within this area. Her name is Callista, and she, to your point, she's kind of this older but like solid as a rock, burly woman who's very no nonsense. And so she looks at Ivo, not recognizing him, and just says, "Oh, it's a prison rake, is it? Great, just what I wanted today." And she just swings it at the same time as she swings. She says, "Get back to your cell, you dumbass!" And just brings down with her weapon. So she is going to roll. The first one's a miss. She's going to take another one and hit you. Try to hit you again. This time with her short sword. She misses both. Wow. Okay, Callista, not great. So that'll end her turn, and it will bring us now to Zunis. Your turn again.
I'm debating whether or not do we want to fight this woman or talk to this woman.
To who? The guard?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you wanted to just scalp them. Why all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden are you like, talking?
Now that he knows someone, he's like, "Oh man, I shouldn't murder everyone."
Yeah, I guess. Can I attempt to use my wrathful smite or my?
You have another spell slot. You can try to do a smite if you want to. You got to get back that way though.
Yeah. All right, I'll roll again. D20.
What are you trying to do? Hit her?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're trying to use Wrathful Smite, or you're gonna try and use Ensnaring Strike? You still have Ensnaring Strike active, so it didn't go away. It's still on there. So if you hit her with that, she'll get vined up instead of the other one you were aiming for.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do the ensnaring then if I can.
Let's see if you can get over that far. Yep, just enough.
Nice.
So yeah, if you want to take a swing at her, see if you hit her and see if you chain her up.
Well, I rolled a 12 and then zeroed out, so I'll go with that 12.
Is that enough to hit? That is not enough to hit her. So
right,
again, swings wide. She kind of just she almost sees the swing coming and she just takes a beefy hand and just thwacks away your sword. Rowena, it's your turn now.
Okay. Okay, so she just batted away Zunis' sword. I'd like to take my... What do I have the sneak attack advantage on? Which weapon?
Pretty much every weapon. You're pretty close to the warden though. So if you try to shoot her, you're gonna roll a disadvantage. But pretty much everything will give you advantage. And
but if I try and stab her,
the rapier or the dagger, either one, you'd still get sneak attack.
Yeah, I'd like to take the rapier.
Okay. So roll to hit, and you roll your hits at advantage because you're flanking them.
Okay. 12.
That was with advantage, so you rolled twice to the higher?
Yeah.
Not enough. So yeah, you miss on that one too. She's a pretty tough broad. She's armored up. She's used to combat. She's ready to go with this stuff. Which is gonna bring us back to the first guard, who is still in that, and he's just gonna keep engaging you guys. So he's gonna run up forward to Rowena, who's the closest, and he's gonna try to hit her with his spear. He misses. He rolled a 4 plus 5, so miss. Which will then bring us back to Ivo. It is your turn.
All right, same kind of deal. Let's take it to the warden, to Callista, with my Shadow Spike.
Okay, roll and see if you hit.
I got a 15.
Still not enough.
Oh.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
Back to you, sir.
At this point, can I hear anything? Like, do I know anything other than the fact that there is violence outside? Do I recognize?
Let's see. Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Four.
No. You don't. You can tell there's violence outside, but that's about it.
I think I'm going to still probably not do anything then.
Okay. Back to Callista's turn. She has seen Zunis now come in and try to take a swing at her. And so she kind of looks around you, very shocked. And she says, "Oh, so you are a traitor after all. I guess you've proven what I hoped wasn't true." Very well then. And she kind of tries to push back Saiba a little bit, and now she is aiming specifically for you, Zeus, feeling this betrayal as one of her.
Oh my god.
I was betrayed by you and my people. I gave 10 years to this organization.
You murdered Watcher Sim.
Watcher Sim put me in jail for returning the God Spike.
You didn't murder him.
And I didn't murder anyone. I didn't do anything. All I did was help my people out.
And so here you are trying to attack me now?
Yes, because all I know is that you guys have it out for. I need to get out of here.
None of us have it out for you. We'll give you a fair trial, I'm certain.
You put me in jail without any reason whatsoever. There was no mention of a trial. I'm not going to take your word for it. I need proof from you that you'll let my friend go and let us all go, and then we will not hurt you.
No one's letting you go
Well,
until this is done. You have
I don't know why we're using words and not killing you right now.
Very well. So she tries to take a swing at you. She's going to roll twice. She's got a long sword and her short sword out. First one, 12 plus... Where'd you go? 12 plus 5, 17. First one's going to hit. So that'll be 7 points of damage.
Alright, when I'm taking damage, I feel like I'm not... I had 5 points of damage before. I think I actually
so add 7 more points of damage, and that's total. She missed with her short sword and hit you with the other.
Well, yeah, type in -7, and it's not... And then I hit it and nothing really happened.
Let me look at it.
Did I do it, actually?
I'll look and tell.
No, I don't think I actually
I can do
did
it for you. So minus 12 damage. Okay, you should be at 24 now.
Right, but how would I have actually...
if you type it in that spot and hit the damage button, it should take you.
Yeah, that's what I've done every time, and it's never actually worked for me.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can own it though. You just.
Oh, I got it. I have an idea. I figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have to go to the side. Okay, cool.
So that'll bring us back to Zunis. It is your turn now.
Well, now that I've been damaged, I'm swinging back. I'm gonna attempt to use my Divine Smite again.
Do you want to cast a different one, or you want to just use the one that's still on?
Yeah, you know what? I'll actually try to... I can use my Nature's Wrath again?
No, your Nature's Wrath is done. But you have 2 smites.
That's what I thought.
Your Ensnaring Strike is still active because you haven't hit with it yet. You could try to change it and cast your second spell and use use Wrathful Smite instead.
Let's do Ensnaring.
Okay, so that one's still on, so you don't have to cast again. So you just gotta hope you hit this time.
D20?
Yep. Plus 5, I think.
Ugh.
Plus
11.
Not enough. You keep missing with this guy.
Damn it. And I've been
Rowena.
speaking so strongly, too.
Rowena, it's your turn.
Okay. Sorry, what's going on with G1?
G1 is just attacking you guys. He was one of the guards you left alive.
Okay, but he's just hanging around there. You know what? I'd like to finish off. I'd be so lucky. I'd like to take my rapier again and try and stab her.
Okay, roll to hit. Remember, you get advantage on your rolls because they're flanking.
Okay. Ooh. 23.
That hits. Okay, roll damage and remember to add your sneak attack bonus.
Okay. Stroke it.
Thank you.
So for that, I roll the 1d8 first, and then a 2d8, correct?
You roll 1d8 for your rapier. You're going to add 3 to it. That'll be your rapier damage. And then for your sneak attack bonus, you're going to roll 2d6 extra.
Oh, right. 15.
15, nice. Okay, so pretty big hit as this rapier finally finds purchase through some of the armor bits, and you see some blood start to trickle out. She's still standing and not too badly beaten up, but she's starting to take a little bit of abuse here, and so she's kind of, at this point, still pretty surly and not seemingly concerned, and very much certain that she can best all of you together. that brings us back to the guard, who's just going to keep protecting you, Rowena, since you're kind of closest to it. Rolled a 4, that's going to miss. Alright, Ivo, your turn.
All right. This warden is really, she's tough. So I want to cast Searing Smite.
Okay.
And take the Shadow Spike back at her.
Alright, you cast Searing Smite on that. And go ahead and roll to hit with your Shadow Spike, see if you can hit her.
I got a 13.
Not enough. Your Searing Smite is still active. It doesn't go away until a minute has passed or you hit, so you still have it. But you did miss. It kind of went wide as this kind of flame kind of crosses her eyes and she dodges out of the way. Thad, your turn. Oh, sorry.
Real quick, could I use my second wind on this instance?
Is second wind a action or a bonus action?
It is a bonus action.
And you want to use it to try to regain health? Or do you want to take another action?
Oh wait, no, sorry. Fighting spirit. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, that's actually a good choice. You can give yourself advantage so you can swing again, see if you hit.
Yeah, I can get another. I do another attack on it, right?
Yeah. So fighting spirit is a little specific. Basically, what it does is on your weapon rolls, you get advantage. So that first one you got a 13, right? It would let you roll that again to see if you hit it. It doesn't give you another attack. The one that gives you another attack is your action surge.
Got it. Okay, so if I use fighting spirit, I can roll again.
Yeah, so instead of see if you get higher than 13, basically.
11.
Nope, still not enough.
All right.
But just a heads up.
So do I get?
You do have 5 extra hit points as well. I'm adding it for you. Fighting Spirit gives you a little extra health point boost.
Oh, okay, cool.
So just a heads up on that. That though is the end of your turn. Which is going to bring us to the Warden again, who basically just screams at you and says, "I've had enough of all this stuff." And so she's gonna. What does she want to do? Nah, she's not quite that far yet. Okay, she's gonna take another swing, and she's just gonna keep swinging for Zunis. This time though, she's put her short sword away, and she's just gonna try to take bigger swings with her long sword. 11 plus 7, 18.
Hate this lady.
So that's gonna hit you. So she's gonna do 8 points of damage to you, Zunis.
Oh my god, I'm
Wait,
less than
what
half.
are you at?
Now I'm at 16 if that was 8.
Yeah, 8 points of damage. You've gotten her ire.
Okay, Nate, I did it correctly this time.
Okay, perfect. Zunis, so that brings us back to your turn.
I'm fighting again, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, you can fight. I think you have some healing abilities too if you wanted to try to heal yourself. You've got a couple of choices there.
Yeah. Healing is wiser. I think that's why you mentioned it. So.
I'm just putting it out there because you said all you can do is attack. If you still want to attack, I don't think you're desperate.
No. I'm at less than half. Yeah, I'm at a little less than half. So I think you're right.
Okay. There's 2 ways you can to heal. You have Cure Wounds as a spell, which would use your last spell slot. Or you can use your Lay on Hands pool, which gives you 20 health points to decide how much you want to use toward whomever.
I'm gonna use 10 of mine on myself.
So I'll subtract 10 if you want to just add 10 to your life points.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna add 15 to myself.
Okay. That was your action. I think that's the end of your turn then. Rowena, is your turn now.
Okay. What's Callista's damage at?
You don't know, but she's taken some beatings, but she's not looking too bad yet. She's still standing pretty strong.
Okay. Wait. I would like to stab at her again with my rapier.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit. Remember, you get advantage on these rolls.
Okay. Equally bad. Alright, I got 7 on the hit.
Not enough. So that misses. It's going to bring us back to the guard. He's just going to keep going for Rowena. He misses on that when he rolled a 5. So that's a no. Ivo, your turn again, sir.
All right. Zunis, what's your health at? What's your hit point at?
Now I'm doing much better. I'm at 31.
Okay, you're back up. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep going with my Shatter Spike. I still have Searing Smite going, right, Nate? Right, Dan?
Yes. Yep, you do.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna roll a 14.
Nope. That does not hit. She's pretty well armored.
God damn. Okay, this has got to be above a 14. That's all I can do.
You can use your Fighting Spirit again if you want to try to get advantage and roll again, or you can take an Action Surge and try to just swing at her again.
I can do Fighting Spirit. How many times can I use Fighting Spirit?
You can use Fighting Spirit 3 times before a long rest.
Oh, I see. You mark it off. Okay, so I mark it once. Yeah, I'll do Fighting Spirit again.
Okay, roll one.
Let's
for it,
see
if
if
you
I can
hit
do
it
better.
there. And if you really want to go crazy, you can do Fighting
Ooh.
Spirit and then do an Action Surge as well.
What's the Action Surge?
Action Surge is all the way at the bottom of your actions list, and it lets you
Take
take one more
action.
So it's basically a way to like swing again. So, you know, depending on, like right now you have Shatter Spike in 2 hands, but as a fighter what you could do is have a sword in one hand, a dagger or another sword in the other. That would let you swing twice, then do an Action Surge, do it again, so swing 4 times, and use Fighting Spirit to get advantage on all those hits. So that's how you can kind of stack your bonuses. If
Gotcha.
you really wanted to just keep going.
Okay, let me just do Fighting Spirit.
Okay.
And then I rolled a. Well, that's better. What is it? Plus 5. 19.
That does hit. Okay, so roll damage on your Shatter Spike, and then you're going to give me your Searing Smite damage as well.
So the Shatter Spike damage is a 10.
Okay, nice. Big hit.
And then what do I roll for the Searing Smite?
If you go to your spells, it'll tell you, I think on that one, it's 2d6.
Yeah, 2d6. So does that mean the best of 6? Roll it twice?
No, 2d6 means roll 2d6 and add the numbers together.
Ah.
Roll a d6 twice, it'll give you a total.
8.
8, nice, okay. So, as you kind of land this blow on her, she's now finally a little concerned. She's taken a bunch of damage. You see this burn mark go through as the fire kind of erupts from your magical sword as it kind of gets through it. She's now finally starting to show some serious marks of battle damage. Which brings us back to the guard. He, seeing this, is just going to kind of keep in trying to defend the warden. And he's going to keep going for Rowena because she's the closest. That's going to hit you, Rowena. You're going to take another...
Wait, isn't Thad after me?
Oh, did I miss Thad? Oh, I did. I went the wrong direction. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Yeah, Thad, it is your turn.
Alright, I think... am I able to use... let's... Cure Wounds is only something I can do to others, correct?
If you can touch yourself, you can cast it on yourself.
I don't think I can do that, but perhaps...
Your hands are like, you can try.
I'll try to cure some wounds on myself here.
So you're trying to get your hands together, try to touch? So as you try to do this and you push your hands together, the manacles on your hands break free. They were unlocked somehow. And you are stunned and surprised all at the same time.
Can I try the ones on my feet?
They are also unlocked. The benefits of not
Amazing.
receiving anything.
Awesome. Well, I guess I will try and heal myself then.
Yeah, so you do. For what is your health at after all that?
I believe it's at 22.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you are able to heal yourself. You are essentially unchained in this room, but naked. I mean, with like a decency cloth.
And there's nothing else around, yeah?
Not that you can see. You get the suspicion whoever came into the room earlier probably, for whatever reason, unlocked your chains.
Can I go investigate that little holding cell to see if there are any clues over there or any gear I can...
So yeah, you go over there. Nothing seems to be in that space. The door is unlocked, though. No one else seemed to be in there. You're not sure why it was opened. But no clues seem to be around.
All right. Well, I think it's time to creep over to the main door and see if I...
That door is also, as you've done it, also unlocked.
I would like to open it and cautiously proceed out into the hallway.
So
Depending on how far away
Finally.
You look out in the hallway. You can kind of see around the corner. There is a pitched battle happening down the hallway. For you, Thad, who've been in the Noble Hand Temple for the majority of your adult life, you recognize all of these people who are now dead around you. And the guard who's attacking you, and the warden who is attacking your friends. You know all of these people.
I'd like to cast Thaumaturgy to make my voice boom over the din of the battle and say, "Stop this madness! Lay your weapons!"
Roll an intimidation check. Are you trying to be scary, or are you trying to be, like, convincing?
Scary.
Yeah, intimidation.
My bright blue eyes are flaring.
I like this song.
17? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was not.
It is enough to kind of arrest the guard. The warden knows of your presence now, but is still seemingly attacking. The guard has kind of stopped and is kind of like looked at you and is a little more stunned that you're loose than not. He hasn't put his weapons down, but he's not attacking Rowena. So we'll actually skip his turn, and that'll take us back to the guard. And now hearing that you're awake, she kind of looks back and you just kind of hear a, "God damn it!" And she just turns around and she's going to try and get to her office, to her desk. Which means she's going to initiate attacks of opportunity from everyone here. So let's start with Rowena. If you want to roll to hit with your rapier.
Yep.
You can also add your sneak attack bonus on this, I think. Oh no, you can't do it as your action. So just regular rapier damage.
Okay. Perfect 20 plus 5, 20.
Okay, nice. So yeah, you got a natural 20. So you're gonna do, because you got a critical hit, you're gonna do your 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
But you're gonna add 8 more to that number.
Okay. 15.
So as she turns around to go, you're just like, and you just get her right in the back, and just you can kind of see the blade tip come out from the front of her, and she just crumples dead within a second.
Yes.
Nice.
Zunis, that does bring us to your turn.
Sorry, I'm leaving a fucking fire comment in the chat.
Fire!
You guys can be the judge.
I can't wait to see this.
Couldn't help myself. All right, yeah, I'm ready for my turn.
There's still one guard active in front of you. Thad has basically commanded everyone in his loincloth to stop fighting.
All right, well, we have that one last guard. Let's do away with him.
Okay, roll to see if you hit with this guy.
D20?
Yep.
18.
That definitely hits him. Go ahead and roll your damage now. Don't forget your ensnaring strike.
Is that a D20 plus 5?
D20 plus 5. You already rolled, so now you're going to roll damage from your weapon, which in this case is 2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2, gotcha. 10.
Okay, yeah. And then does ensnaring strike have any damage as well? Roll another d6 as well.
Okay, sick. D6. Oh, 1.
That's actually what you needed. This other guard, just as this sword just comes slicing through him, like his arm just lops off and he passes out on the floor in pain and then eventually bleeds out. You've murdered 3 now of the Noble Hand Temple guardsmen. People that Thad knew. But you are out of combat.
I know. After my...
Seemingly still, you have not set off any major issues elsewhere. No one else has started to attack you from here.
After my religious awakening, too. Really put me at a crossroads. Should we embrace Thad?
Yeah.
Thad, where have you been?
I've been getting tortured, you fool. Where have you been?
You're looking for you, trying to break you out.
What have you done, Zunis, you idiot? You're killing our brethren? Don't you know these people were trying to help us?
They weren't, man.
Not all of them have been misled by our perilous and terrible leader.
They wouldn't listen to us, and we wanted to save you more than, help our fellow man.
I'd like to go see if the warden has any breath left in her body or information that we can get from her. So I push past Zunis to go to her side.
I'll say she'll get the same, because you literally just killed her. You rolled just enough damage to kill her. So I'll say I'll give her the same player death saving rolls. So first one is a failure.
Can I use spare the dying on her?
Yes, you could. She is unconscious but bleeding out. 2 more death saves and she's done. Oh wait, she doesn't need death saves anymore anyway. You did spare the dying, so.
Yeah. Okay, so she's stable?
She's stable. She's alive but unconscious.
But not talking. Okay, cool. I'd like to search her body, see if I can find anything, any notice for why we were captured, why we were being held, etc.
Roll an investigation check. Are you searching her body or are you searching the room?
Is she in her room? She made it into her room, right?
Yeah, she's kind of at the doorway, but she's basically inside.
I'll search her body to start.
Okay. Roll an investigation check. You also find keys. This particular keychain, though, seems to have more keys than the other ones your friends have. So you assume there's probably more doors that this can open somehow. Nothing else is on her person, though.
Look, team, I know things are dire. I don't know how all of you ended up in this prison. Have you fought your way in here? Have you killed tens of or 20 of these soldiers?
That's one version of it.
Yeah.
No, they arrested us, just like they took you. We've only killed these 2 guards here.
And we probably still have to prove that you guys didn't kill Watcher Sim. And I'm guessing that, how do I say his name? Tyon? I'm guessing Tion. I'm guessing he killed Watcher Sim, but they let us look at the murder scene briefly. But we didn't get enough hard evidence, so I'm sure that's a hurdle we will have to overcome. But first, we gotta get out of here, and I gotta what's her name? Renaya on the way out.
Yeah, you gotta figure. So here's the challenge that you guys are facing currently. Even though you might have been able to find like a stable holding spot in the dungeon, the only way that you know of so far to get out of this place, including the people that are from here, is to go back up through the temple. The temple is directly above you, and even that first floor of the temple, I can actually show you the map too, because the Zunis and Thad would definitely know this. It's almost another jail on top. So if you look at the basement of the temple, this whole back area is like the entrance into the jail. And it has smaller cells that are like processing places, temporary holding facility, overflow for the jail. To get back into the temple, you need to pass through this main cage that has a double door on it that needs keys. You feel like you probably have those keys because you just killed the warden, or knocked her out at least. But like getting up out of the temple, you already know is not going to be easy.
And there's no secret passages or anything like that? Zunis and Thad?
I'm guessing maybe the only thing I can think of, because I'm not from here, is the area that was all walled off we're hearing those weird noises from. But I think we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. Let's go up through the temple or try and investigate there. My concern is that Renaya was getting all threatening to me, so I just want to go check in with her.
Nate, is the original guard that was left in their cell?
She was still alive.
I know she's still alive, but should we do anything with our weapons to potentially hurt her more?
It's up to you what
Do this.
I don't know.
Well,
I guess she's locked in.
My feeling is we gotta go check in with that group anyway, so let's do that, and then let's figure out if we're gonna go up the regular way or figure something else.
We have to go let those 2 out, because we told them that we would, once we found a way up to the temple, we would show them. And we know the way to the temple.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I definitely think, team, before we go, I knew the warden. She was a good person. She wouldn't have held us against our will unless she was very convinced that we had done wrong. So I think we should search her office for any sort of clues, information that might lead us to the true motivations of the High Watcher.
Okay. That's fair. Let's search it.
That's very smart.
So whoever's searching, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Well, I have pretty high investigation. So
That's not my strong suit. Yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah. Mine's not good.
Hopefully, after talking a big game. Ooh, 23.
Yeah!
So yeah, you definitely search through it, kind of look through the office a bit. You actually find a little lockbox that you're easily able to open, since you have the keys and stuff on the warden's keychain. That's got about 65 gold pieces in it. There are also some various letters and little knickknacks in there, some nice looking things. You don't find much that deals with you, but there is a prison ledger, like a list of all the prisoners that are in there, and you see some names that sound familiar. There's Lady Solaya, who's kind of in there. You see that she was arrested for indecent public exposure. You see the list of like Renaya and Crag, who were arrested for like petty theft. You see one in there. Words and words and words. You also do see that there's Thad's name and Zunus's name. It doesn't have a charge next to either of theirs. It just says sensitive next to it, and a little marking like in like asterisk that basically says no visitors allowed.
Huh. No vision.
All right.
Is
Ivo and Rowena's names on there?
Rowena, do me a favor as you're kind of looking through that ledger. Just roll a straight. Let's do a perception check. I do think it'll be more that than anything.
20.
Nice. So you're counting the list of names on the ledger. You've got a pretty good memory. You're pretty smart. The only person, just something stands out at you. Like you're going through all the things, and you're like, there's not. The number of people on this ledger doesn't match the number of people in the jail cells. There's one that's like there's one less on the ledger than there is in the jail cell, and the one that you guys were in. Everyone's accounted for, except for the naked like drunk.
How do I know that it's him?
Because everyone else has a charge next to their names.
Oh, okay.
And that all matches who you spoke to.
Okay. Guys, this is weird. The naked drunkard isn't accounted.
Huh.
Strange.
Who's this naked drunkard?
He was in the cell with me and Ivo. Ostensibly not interesting, but perhaps it hit him in the eye.
I think we saw everything.
Perhaps. It was very peculiar, but when I, right before I joined into that fray, I discovered that somebody had undone my manacles. If there's somebody in this prison who shouldn't be, they could be an...
Oh, you cut out.
They could be an ally.
Oh, okay. I literally missed the last word.
Wait, so someone came into the torture chamber and undid your... They didn't announce themselves, they just undid your restraints?
I can't be sure. I didn't see anyone, but I felt as though there was a presence in the room with me, and I know that I was secured when I was being tortured, but my bindings were released. Yeah.
Thad, may I ask why you stood side with our people even after they tortured?
I don't side with our people. I've known for a long time that this church is led by a false leader, a false follower of my god Helm. But I simply can't see people who I've grown up with slaughtered when they are being misled and have no evil in their heart.
I understand. And I really am sorry. I just wanted to save you. Hope you understand. But...
And I understand, and, sometimes we're all lost in the heat of battle, and it happens. I appreciate your devotion to my...
Of course.
Where's Yao at?
Yao's still with you. He's just kind of like hanging back a little bit.
What do you have to say for yourself now, Yao?
Kind of looks at, like, hears you and kind of moves his head in your direction. I don't have anything to say for myself. You guys are doing the fucking thing we said we were going to do. We get out of this place and then I fucking try to murder all of you.
Get
Right.
in line. Everybody's here to try and murder us.
Yeah, you've got there's a lot that has to happen before you try that. So we've pretty much kind of gone through all the...
Can we hurry it up?
So we've gone through all the warden stuff, right? We've searched through, I mean, pretty much effectively what Rena has. Is there anything else that she might be able to find in the office?
I mean, like, it's her office. She's got weapons around. There's some paperwork there. You know, the things of value, the things you're looking for, you found. Other than that, it's just some extra knickknacks and tchotchkes and tabletop.
No weapons that would be valuable.
Do we want to then go back? I mean, at least go back and tell to our jail cell and tell what were their names? Our friends, the dragon and
Renaya and Crag.
Yeah,
and Crag. How can I forget about Crag? And let them out.
Let's go and talk to them.
As you start kind of doubling back, now Yao does protest. He's like, listen, we're not going fucking backwards. We've got one way to go, and that's forward. We're getting out of this place. I suggest we go figure out what that noise was. Something about that just gets my hair standing up. It's not right. There shouldn't be anything next to that cell. I'm almost positive.
Can I pull my rapier on him?
Sure.
Alright.
He can't see. He's pretty defenseless.
Yeah.
So you guys know, Anna, if you can't see Anna, she has an imaginary rapier in hand.
Okay, yeah. I'm going back because Renaya had a bee in her bonnet about, she's gonna threaten me hither and thither if I don't go check in with her. And I don't trust you, so I'm not gonna go down a little tunnel, hear some screaming with you. You got that?
Roll an intimidation check.
I think I'm pretty
It got me.
I'll let you do it at advantage because he's blind and you have a weapon on him.
Okay. 11.
Oof.
Well, let's see.
Come on.
So he looks at you and he kind of like feels where the tip of the rapier is kind of going. He just grabs it with his hand. And like you can see it, he's cutting his hands a bit. But Captain Yao's got a pretty nasty background. Especially Ivo would know this. And he looks and he kind of like puts his like dead eye in your face because he can tell where you are. You just smell his stench. And he goes, "You're not gonna scare me, little one. This isn't the shit that we said we were gonna do. Now stay to your end of the bargain."
It'll take 5 minutes, yeah. Ivo, do you have any way of reasoning?
Listen, yeah. Just as I've made an agreement with you to release you so you can kill me later. We have another agreement with a pair in our original jail cells. We have to go let them out, and then we will be on our merry way. It'll take a minute. It's just right down the hall.
Whatever. You guys go do that. I'm just gonna wait here.
All right.
I think you should come with us.
I'm not gonna come with you. I'm fucking blind. I can't do anything anyway.
I mean...
Right, so you want us to just leave you here unprotected and blind in case another guard comes down? What are you going to do at that point?
It sounds like you killed most of the fucking guards here, and the other ones are tied up, aren't they?
Yeah,
You never know if someone might come down from the temple, though.
Roll a persuasion check.
I still don't know why we're being nice to him.
I want to kill him.
I know you.
So here's one other thing to do. So Ivo would know the rules of like the Lordless, and like if a Lordless calls truce, it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of like a meeting of the Ronin. He would try to honor that because it means something to him.
I rolled a 20.
A 20.
And actually, I have a 24 with the added 4.
Oh.
Fine. Just go. So he does agree to follow you.
Ivo, I'm not gonna let him kill you. You know that.
I know.
Alright, let's make our way back to the first cell.
So you kind of head back that way, and as you get there, you do see all the same characters you've seen before. Renaya and Crag are Words and words. Renaya and Crag are there, still kind of kowtowing everyone into the corner away from the other guard. The other guard is still passed out. It's only been, since you started this whole thing, maybe 15, 20 minutes at most. It hasn't been very long. Since you've been able to bust out Zunis and chain the guard. Sorry, it's probably been about a half hour or so. They're all still in there, waiting for you guys to come back. So Renaya sees you come and she goes, "Oh, have you already solved our little dilemma then? That was quite fast."
Yep, all solved. Now, what's the plan here, Renaya?
Well, we escape, you go your merry way, we do our work, and that's the end of this particular agreement, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll stay out of your way, you stay out of
Sounds great. So tell me now, how do I get out into the temple up above?
There's the rub.
I'm immediately concerned. I'm willing to hear you out, I guess.
You can get up to the temple fairly easily, but there's still guards up on that. And there's other holding cells and such.
Well, what exactly is up there? Can you explain it to me? Perhaps I can head back that for us. Maybe I can get past that area by myself.
Yeah, there's a processing center and some holding cells, and then part of it leads up to the temple.
Okay, excellent. I know that. We came in that way. I'm trying to find out if there's a way to get through it. Were you able to get... Were you able to get a way through?
Well, there's also a little alcove that we think it's walled off, but we think it might lead someplace, but we still have yet to penetrate that.
Listen, I had a fair good look at almost everything as I came through here. I don't know, there's no other way out of this place. I have not seen a secret entrance. Only thing that I could think of, maybe if the warden was able to get his keys, I think she's got extra things on her.
Oh, did we pat down her body, guys?
Yes, we did.
We did?
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
I have the
Thad
keys.
did.
The warden would likely have more keys than the general guardsman down here.
Yeah, my friend here has them.
Alright, if you give us those, we'll call it fair. I think I could probably use those to get out of the cages above. As for the sneaky part, I think I can handle that just fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Real quick, well, first I'm gonna digest that to Ivo. I'll translate that for him and the rest of them. And then also, I want to have a word with the naked drunkard.
So what exactly are you trying to do first?
Let me translate that for my group.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. And now you want, you tell that to Ivo, Ivo hears it.
This lady says if Thad gives her the warden's keys, we're squared away and she'll go ahead on her own.
Okay.
Sounds okay to me.
Yeah.
For all we know, she'll unlock any door that we need to go out of anyways.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Alright, may I have the keys, please? Or yours?
They're all yours.
Okay, so you give the keys to Renaya. Renaya looks at you and she goes, this should work out quite well. I do say I'm very appreciative of what you've done. It's actually pretty good work. I recognize that speech, by the way. I know you're probably with the Deep Shadow. Didn't think you guys were that good at what you do, but you seem to be a little clumsy, but you made it through all right. Perhaps we'll see each other again. I'd suggest waiting down here for a bit before you go upstairs behind us.
I'll do that. I'll let you your havoc. Go on.
So you see her and Crag start to kind of walk away, kind of back towards the entrance. And so now you want to talk to the drunkard?
Yeah.
How are you
Drunkard.
doing that? Are you just kind of talking?
What language does he speak, or should I try a bunch?
He's passed out, so you don't know. He's still passed out.
I'd like to go shake his shoulder.
So you go to touch him, and your hand goes through him.
Uh-oh.
And it doesn't feel like there's substance there. So you pull back, and you do it again, and your hand disappears inside of him and goes out, disappears inside him and goes out. And the drunkard is clearly an illusion.
Oh
Whoa.
my goodness. What do you make of this, guys?
We can all see him?
You can all see the illusion, but you just all seen that it was a fake thing that didn't hold any substance. Can I have... The only one... Well, no, you have some background on that. We'll let everyone do it. So everyone roll a quick perception check for me.
6.
10.
13.
What's 20.
All right. So Zunis is the only person who notices this. But like right, like near where the illusion is, kind of behind it a little bit, there is this little space of like wispy air, and it doesn't seem to have like a solid form exactly. It's just kind of the sheen that doesn't look right. You can tell there's something there. Because you saw it, can I have you roll an Arcana check?
Sure.
If you recognize what this is.
9.
Not really sure what it is. There's something there though, kind of round in that space.
Shall we get out of here, or do you guys want to invest? Prison.
Wait, what do you see, Zunis? I didn't notice really anything. What do you see?
Well, behind him, there's this like weird kind of gaseous. Is that how you describe it? How did you describe it exactly?
Yeah, it's just kind of like a sheen in the air that seems round.
Round sheen in the air thing. I can't really make out exactly its origin or what it is, but there is some kind of like, weird air protruding from behind.
I would like to submit to you that didn't we see something similar? I might be misremembering, but I thought there was something, that Ivo and I saw up in Watcher Sim's quarters. Maybe?
Like a little sheen?
Yeah, but I could be misremembering.
I don't remember if... Well,
No,
you
I
must
don't
have.
think we did.
I don't think you did.
Okay.
I don't think you saw it, although I might have just ruined and said there was. So yes, let's say why not.
I'm not schooled in these ways, but I think there's something nutty going on in this castle. But I assume it's benevolent.
Now that he's explained it, let's have you roll an Arcana check. Anyone else who heard him kind of explain it, you can roll an Arcana check as well.
Not a good strong skill, but let's see. Yeah, nope. Got a 1. I'm just all muscle. I'm all looks.
What'd you say?
I'm like,
Rowena?
22.
22.
Thad? Or are you just like, nah?
I'm like, can you guys draw me a picture? I don't.
19.
Okay. Thad and Rowena know what this is. This is like a scrying orb. It's a way for someone somewhere to spy on a certain thing.
Wow. Scrying orb?
Yeah, you're starting to get the sense that someone was using this drunkard illusion to keep people away and distracted from this orb. And it's been watching you most of this experience.
So probably seeing what we said and everything that's going on.
You don't know if it's good or bad.
I mean, I assume the drunkard is benevolent because he may have freed Thad, but I suppose who knows.
Yeah, well, you don't even know if the drunkard is a real thing. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
There's no one there.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
Okay, basically someone's been watching though.
Yeah.
Well, that's creepy as hell.
Well, then I think there's a good chance we'll stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think they're going to be happy to see us.
That's right. So I think we should probably keep moving.
Yeah.
Right.
Could we Shawshank it and dig our way out?
It's D&D. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Let me see what I got.
That might take years.
I have.
These are big stone walls. As a dwarf, I know that might be pretty hard.
Yeah, basically.
Can we explode?
Oh yeah, please.
Can we cause an explosion? I know you said it was.
I mean, it's possible. It's kind of up to you. Basically, your two real forks right now are listen to Captain Yao and explore the noises you heard, or figure out a way to get back up through the top, the main entrance, and try to figure out a way to get past the Noble Hand.
I think we, as much as I hate to say it, I don't like Yao at all, but I think those noises might be the source of my freedom. You know, if that illusion didn't free me, something surely did. And for all I know, it could be some creature in the walls of this castle that I know.
That's true. I was afraid that was.
Okay.
I don't want to go, but I'll do it. Whatever.
Where? So DM, where is? Yeah. So I agree that we should go investigate this. So DM, where is Yao right now?
Yao's basically just behind you. If you consider him as like a companion in the party, he just stays as close to you as possible.
So is he inside the jail cell with us?
Yes. If you guys went in there, then he's in there with you.
Okay. Cool. So sorry, I'm thinking for a sec. So why don't okay, so we're all in agreement that we should go check out the
sounds,
the noise, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna go with the majority here. I'm not a big fan of the idea.
Noted. Definitely noted.
I hate to kill the mood, but I just know it's gonna lead to trouble.
Okay, more trouble than killing all of our old comrades.
I speak Nate, and he tried to get us here.
Yeah.
After this is all over, I'm gonna share something with you that will probably change your mind on that thought.
Ooh.
Well, so
now I have to go.
Not in terms
so
of like,
since we're all
going there, but in terms of me trying to push you in a certain direction.
Okay. I think it's for storytelling purposes, I assume. But
it's not. It's really not.
Okay.
So since we're all in agreement, this is what we should do. So I will kind of locks eyes with Thad and Zunis and Rowena, and each time I lock eyes, I kind of like nod to the door, and I kind of like put a finger up to my mouth as kind of a nod, and then to be quiet. And I kind of like try to usher you guys. As then I'm doing this, I want to give this speech of like this journey down here in the jail cell is just like a testament to how great of a band of comrades we are. And to kind of and so as I'm doing this, and then all of a sudden I want to kind of take a shove at Yao and push him down to the ground to try to get us out of the jail cell.
Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. Roll an athletics check at advantage. Because he's just I mean, he's not frail, but he's blind and not expecting it. So.
I was about to say, I never thought I'd hear from pushing a blind guy.
I've met some blind assholes in my life. It's a thing. They're not all nice just because they're blind.
Didn't Matt make a movie about it?
I did. Clayton worked on it.
Wait, a blind guy?
Blind girl who takes advantage of Chris Myers.
I do remember that. I do. That was really funny. I really enjoyed that one.
Matt Madrid shot it. Yeah.
I rolled a 23.
Yeah, more than enough. So you not only like push him, you shove him. Like he falls on the ground, bangs his head on one of the benches. He is prone, and at surprise. What are you doing with this?
I mean, I'm just like, all right, guys, let's just everyone get out of the jail cell, lock it up.
Let's get out.
Is everyone doing that?
Yeah.
All right, so you all get out. Captain yells on the ground,
Yeah.
throw the thing, lock it behind you. You hear as you do this as well. Oh, don't leave me in here either. I don't belong with him.
Oh god.
Oh god, is this that's that lady?
Yes, please let me out. I'm sorry, I was
Hey,
mean
you had
before.
your-
I can't be here.
Yeah, you were pretty mean to me. Like,
You had your chance.
So you
Let's
you
roll.
abandon Lady Salaya as well.
Yeah,
Salaya,
she's
and
gone.
you continue on. Where are you going from here? Now that you've gotten out of it, Captain Yao kind of.
We're going to investigate the sound.
I'm gonna say Captain Yao passed out because you pushed him really hard. So he just
Yeah, I got him good.
Got knocked out. So.
Yeah, he won't know what happened. I mean, he'll know what happened, but
Malaya, you'll be fine.
I was not expecting that. Way to get rid of him. Nice job. I really just thought you guys were gonna stab him or something. So.
I mean, every time I tried to stab him, grabbed his
yeah, he seems to be pretty resilient to attacks. I figured some sort of sneak attack in a jail cell
Yeah,
best way.
You know Captain Yao very well. You guys used to be friends in your former mercenary. Like, he's a pretty tough, ruthless person.
Right.
And definitely evil. Like, he's a very selfish, evil thing. But in either case, so you guys are going to go investigate the sound now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you kind of go back to the main door, which is where all your characters are currently anyway, where Yao said the noise was coming from. Thad and Zunis know this to be a storeroom down here, with a bit of a kitchen and like a pantry inside. Sometimes there's people in there, sometimes there's not. Just kind of depends. You want to open the door and go in?
Let's do it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so you
We're
open the
here.
door. It's
By the
a-
way, I guess I should say I'm gonna make sure that I take a second to put on all my equipment.
Okay.
Oh yeah, are you still naked? Thad?
I was kind of just naked for that whole time, but thanks for holding on to my shit, guys.
So now is the moment you put clothes on. You've been basically naked all prior.
Yeah, you know, I was feeling comfortable.
So you do open it up, kind of peek around the corner, and you're like, I'm ready to fight, but then there's no one in here. It's completely empty.
And we still heard the sounds are gone.
The sounds are not there, and you guys didn't exactly recognize the sounds, but remember, Captain Yao's cell was like butted up right against it, and he heard it pretty clearly, so he knew what to listen for. He heard.
So are we
Mhm.
even around the bend there? It's still empty. Like the whole room is completely empty, even
Yeah.
around the wall.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
say you guys kind of went in there and looked. There's no one in here. It is an empty room.
Is there any food for us to give to Thad?
There is food in here. There's like butcherings of meat. There's bread. There's cheeses. Like, this is a fully functioning kitchen. You kind of see
Thad,
in the
eat
first
up,
room
man.
is more of a storeroom. There's just gnawing away, you know. There's boxes and crates and food stores. There's a stove with a hearth that is currently lit. Pretty warm in this area. Along one wall is a table with some, again, meat that's being butchered and kind of being preserved, a salt pork around, that kind of stuff. And Thad and Zunis, and most of you guys know because you've walked around this area quite a bit now. You can kind of gauge how this butts up against the cells that Captain Yao was talking about.
Well,
Do we
let's
see
go.
scratches anywhere? Any sort of like scratch marks or anything like what the noise he's describing?
Are you looking at any particular area?
I guess kind of close to where. I guess would I know that? Could I tell that this wall, where the wall would be, that would be up to his cell?
I'll say yeah, because you were in that area. Like, you busted him loose.
Yeah, so I kind of look in that in general area, close to where his cell wall is.
Are you like using, like, are you kind of like feeling the wall, or are you just looking?
I'm just looking, just visually.
Roll a perception check for me.
14.
It just looks like a stone wall behind there. Nothing seems out of place exactly. What you do see, not so much on the wall, but there's like two tables there. One seems to be fixed, kind of attached to the wall. It's pretty strong and stable. The one in the corner is like a similar table, but it looks like it was like cut from that table and like made to be its own separate piece, and it's movable. Like it's on four legs that you can kind of move around the room.
Let's move that table.
So you move the table. Doesn't seem like anything happens. Wall behind it still just seems like stone.
Well, we looked. We're gonna take a little.
Can
food.
we just?
You guys want to get out of here? Scratch that itch.
Should we try and cast an Arcana check, or one of you guys who has magical skills maybe do something to flush any spirits out?
I can definitely check for any traces of magic to start.
All right.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay. Thad, are you doing an Arcana check, or are you casting like detect magic or something? I don't know.
I think I just have to do an Arcana. I don't have detect magic actually.
Yeah, you don't. Do you have any other features though, as your dwarf race that does with like stone walls or anything?
Not sure. I know generally dwarves can detect downward slopes in stone, but I don't think that.
Dungeon Master, do I still have my sending?
You do.
Guys, I can call Tor. He can pick us up.
I mean, again, it's all an
Can you
option.
pick us up in a dungeon?
You can always try stuff.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd get reception. Maybe once we're talking. Yeah, I'll try it.
So again, the way sending works is once per day, you can use it to telepathically communicate with the other person holding the stone. Like 25 words or less. So what do you
It's like a telegram.
Hi, Torm.
You can catch it through to those two words.
Yeah, you don't need to, that's too wasted.
It's like back and forth but one time. It's not like a phone call where you talk, he talks, you talk, he talks. It's you talk 25 words, and he talks 25 words. And that's it.
Does he know it's me?
Yes, he would recognize that it's you.
Okay. Trapped in temple. Please come save us. Fighting way out now. Don't get caught yourself.
We're underground.
Headed to Wadep F. How many is that?
I think you're good.
Put in a word with Faramir. Thanks.
So a few words go back, and you hear, that's not good. I guess I can try. Kind of in the middle something here. Maybe after mission?
Guys, I told you we should have taken them.
Wait, so did Thad do an Arcana check?
Thad, what did you roll on your Arcana check?
A 20.
Nice.
Nice!
Nothing here seems magical.
Oh, God.
Ah,
Damn it!
what a weird detour that Nate pushed us toward.
I did not. That was not a me thing.
That was a Yao thing.
Zunis, since you were by the cell, is there anything else that you think that you heard that might give us a clue where it's coming from inside this room, or was it only Yao that heard these scratches?
Yao and Zunis did hear them while they were there in the cells, but only Yao heard it the second time.
Man, I bet that was a scrying. It's an illusion to get us to worry.
Or it might be rats.
It could just be as simple as rats.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we're done here.
As much as I'd love to investigate more, there's something that we're missing here. We got to get out of this jail.
Or should we try once more? Maybe filling the wall or the ground around it.
Yeah, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, so are you guys all
It
like
takes
just trying
just
to
a
like, what
minute.
the fuck is this now?
Yeah, we're all just kind of like touching stuff on the ground and the
anyone
wall.
who wants to try that, roll a investigation check.
Go for it, Clayton or Iva.
I mean, you can do it. You can do it too. Are you above it, Zunis?
Thad, I am gonna let you roll an advantage because of your racial background.
I'm no longer a believer.
This has been a rough day for.
I rolled a 9.
9, okay.
15 for me.
Okay.
I rolled 11.
14.
Okay. So Thad does. No one else seems to notice. Behind that table that's movable, the stonework is just a little bit like there's more gaps in those stones than there are the other ones. They seem clustered specifically together.
Check this out. I think we've got potentially some sort of passage here. Might be some sort of, I don't know, tapping of stones in a particular order. Pressing on special stones. One of those Shawshank situations.
Now you're speaking my language.
I'm gonna make a character named Shawshank in this series somewhere now. So yeah, again, things that you see in the room. You've got the table with the butcherings on it, the one that moves. You've noticed something is strange about the wall here. You have the hearth behind you that's kind of laid out in a series of stones. The pantry kind of way, and then, or you could exit and go somewhere else. Kind of up to you.
Is there any decoration on the hearth or like parallelism between the stones over there and the stones on the wall?
Roll a perception check. Sounds like you're looking.
16.
There's not so much a correlation. All the stonework seems to be the same. The thing that you start to notice, though, is the stones on the wall behind you and the stones of the hearth are cut from the same block. But the stone wall behind the hearth and the rest of it are different. So the stonework seems different on the eastern wall. That stonework matches the stonework of the hearth, but the rest of the stonework looks different on the western wall, northern wall, southern wall.
So, do we feel like that? Do you think that one of these walls is? I mean, you know this the temple. Do they do interior decoration a lot? Do they remodel walls? Do they remodel walls? Is there a reason why that one of these walls, the stones might look kind of different, or?
This is certainly of note. It is peculiar, I would say, and worth investigating further.
Should we just start pressing stones, or do you think I should just take my the end of my sword and start trying to chisel away at the wall?
Maybe start chiseling away a little bit.
I have a hammer too.
Oh.
You guys are gonna start beating on the wall.
It's worth a shot.
Okay.
Going in between the stones and trying to pop them out, I feel.
Roll an attack roll. Let's see what happens.
I want to attack the wall.
Attack the wall. This is like one of those old school video games where you had to interact with everything by hitting it.
I got a
By the way, By the way, I'm gonna have to sign off in like the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of this is kind of where I figured we'd stop. I will say the last little bit's taking a little longer than I thought.
I'm so curious to hear your
I got a 13.
13, okay.
That's better than what I got. I got
you
it.
hit the wall. It sounds different. It sounds like there's a different noise to this section of the wall than the other, but you're not doing any damage to it. And for brevity, because I will say, you got an 8. Same. It hits. It does some bits. You're chipping stone off, but it's not moving. For brevity. Yeah, please.
I was just gonna ask: is there? So the stones on the eastern wall, are they in like the shape of a hearth? Like, is there a place where a fire would feasibly go?
No, but you would know this. I think this is actually part of your thing. You have a stone cutting feature. You can kind of tell the origin of the stonework, and I'll say what you rolled before with your perception check will count towards it. The walls of the eastern wall of this kitchen match the stones of the hearth. And those stones, that stonework, looks newer than the rest of the building. And again, this temple's pretty old. It survived the Sundering and lifted with the city. So new stonework is unique at this level. So there's clearly a match somewhere between the hearth and the stone wall.
All right, you know what? We got a couple minutes left here. Can I try to cast Burning Hands on the wall that is not the hearth, the east?
Yes. So you're sending fire that way?
Hitting it with fire.
Nothing happens.
Cone of. All right.
if only someone did something with the hearth.
Light a fire?
Maybe do more than just look at it, if that was a possibility.
Well,
sure, I'll do something with it.
Yeah. So we'll speed this along because I've given it to you. As you investigate the hearth, there are a few stones that are kind of there near the bottom, and as you're kind of looking around trying to find something secret, you do clumsily manage to press on one of the stones on the floor. The stone pushes down, and behind you the wall slides open. And as you do that, some air kind of comes through, and you notice a chamber leading down into a cave system opens up.
Into a what system?
Into a cave
wow.
system, like a tunnel.
Wow, we really figured that one out. Yeah.
Overthinking is my favorite part of all of this.
Remember when Thad was like, could just be rats.
I wanted to see through.
It's like Occam's razor. The best explanation is the simplest.
Yeah. And we'll find out why this thing is here next time, I think, so we can let Jesse go and enjoy the rest of whatever he had planned tonight.
Oh, wow. All right, shall we do our little director's comments?
If you'd like, yes.
It's my favorite part.
Indeed.
Add a summary to the chat so I can tune in.
Yes.
All right, I'll write my questions that I come up with.
No, the questions...
I'll see you all later. That was really
I'll
fun.
see you later, Jesse. Have a good night. Thanks for coming, brother.
Thanks, Nate. Bye.
I guess.
Jesse?
Yep.
I guess my question was, I'll write it down. Was I wrong for killing my people?
That's between you and Hell.
So I'm not typing responses into that. That's just for propriety. I don't want you to remember all the secrets. But were you wrong for killing them? No. I mean, there's no right and wrong necessarily. It's not gonna look great to prove your point that you're not a vicious murderer.
Oh, I didn't even think of it.
Damn. Does not make me look good with the people of the...
Correct. While Helm might understand the situation, but You know.
Yikes. All right, good point. That was my major question. There was another one. Oh, you said that you were going to explain why we should go into that. Obviously, it's so we could escape.
Well, so it wasn't just obviously so that you could escape. So normally I try to give you guys like free reign of the world to do a lot of things. And here you still did. Like, you really could have gone... Like, really you had two clear options. One, try to just bust out, have a straight-up prison riot scenario, detain all the guards, kill the guards, however, and then somehow escape through the main entryway. That just would have been harder and meant more fighting. I didn't think of you to be so callous toward it, so I was wondering where that came from. But the other was to keep going down this path and possibly discover a little bit more of Thad's background and what's going on with Watcher Sin.
I felt bad because I kind of thought that's where... But...
I mean, either way is fine, because either way I can narrate either one. I didn't know what you were going to do with Captain Yao. That was kind of there. But here's really the reason why a lot of this was just very amorphous today. 90% of what we did was improv.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
I didn't have... Work got a little crazy this week where they're actually giving us a lot more on our plate, and I didn't have enough time to get everything I wanted to do prepped. We weren't even going to be down here yet. I was going to have like some scenes between you and like what was happening up above, try to figure some of that stuff out. You guys also, I didn't expect you to mention the world spikes quite so quickly, so I thought there was going to be more between you and Tion. There wasn't. So we got a little further ahead in the story that I wasn't 100% there yet on. But yeah, the Captain Yao came to me 10 minutes before we got on the chat because I was like, oh, that might be an interesting time. He got arrested.
That was the best part of the story by far.
Yeah, the warden has... I'm glad you didn't kill the warden. There might be a tie-in later, depending. And we didn't even really get a chance to explore like what was happening with the drunkard, mostly because I made that as a way to try to get something happening for Thad, which is kind of why Renaya and Crag existed, because I realized when I put you in this jail cell, because again I made all of it up, that I didn't give you a very fun way to try to get out. So Renaya Crag made up completely on the spot as a way to try to figure out how to get out of this place and like incentive. Coromir is made up. I have no idea where that came from. They have no backstory. So that'll be a fun one to try to get next time. And then
is that why they were so like blasé and didn't want to talk to us?
Yeah, what could they have said? I didn't know what to do.
That's funny.
I think now I've got kind of a taste of like what the story is. But truly, this one was almost all bullshit.
That was amazing.
Nate, was there? So with the one kind of pivotal moment of where we should go once Rowena and I got out of the jail cell and kind of got Zuni is, I guess, was Thad? It seemed like someone was coming in, like obviously at the end help Thad, but based off of myself, Rowena, and Zunis's actions, was Thad ever at risk of dying, of being tortured to death? Because we kind of chose to go for the weapons and get the weapons before going for Thad. So I was wondering, it was like, obviously we picked it worked out, but I was like, fuck, should we get weapons first or should we go for Thad first, was kind of my first thought.
It would be pretty unlikely they would have killed Thad. And you kind of got a little hint of this, although I forgot to put it in the recap. Like, Tion reacted a bit when he got hold of the world spike, and he does seem to want more out of Thad. So he probably wouldn't have killed him. Probably can be a big word. Sometimes you never know. The drunkard and the scrying is something I was thinking of down the pike a little more. But I just felt like...
Tell us more about the scrying orb, dude.
I'm not gonna. We'll see where that plays on later. I really didn't think Thad would have rolled that poorly. He got below 10 on all of his rolls to see if there was anyone he could interact with.
Yeah, I feel like
someone did get in the room and undo his manacles.
If he had rolled better, he would have seen who it was, right?
He wouldn't have seen them, but he maybe could have interacted with them.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, that's right. I had never heard the word manacles before. Got it.
Was there a lot we did today that surprised you?
Well, it all surprised me because none of it was like I had no real rails other than they have a dungeon they're in. There are 2 ways to get out of this dungeon, and I don't know which way they're going to try to take. I'm glad that you decided to go in the storeroom. Truth be told, that was kind of my preferred option because I did want to try to give Thad a little bit more for his backstory.
Yeah, it's more fun than fighting too.
And truth be told,
go
like
with mythology.
The next steps, if we go down the cave, are going to touch on Zunus's and Thad's kind of continuation. But we got a chance to like real quickly. I got a chance to, and that's kind of why I decided on those ones. Like now, I was kind of proud of myself. I found a quick way to tie in a little bit of Ivo's backstory, and Rowena gets a little bit more to investigate too if she wants to. So, because now you've got a character somewhere in the world that you can interact with.
Nice. Yeah, dude, that was dope.
You guys want to do this again?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, fam.
All right, fam.
So, I'll hit you guys up just to chat and stuff. But that was great, Nate. Thanks, dude.
No worries, man.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. That was great. All right, I'll see you guys. Stay
Enjoy
safe.
hanging with the kids.
They're asleep now. Thank God.
Oh, there. Oh, nice. Later, buddy.
Bye.